gotta backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. Ask me though how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give me something you can talk about.
What a bop. What a bop. Am I right? Or am I right? Original song by me and, someone else. Go check out the credits. Okay, anyway, so okay, there was a funny tweet. Let me pull up inner city tweet. There was a funny tweet. Some things have happened. We're here. It's 2:02 p.m. on Wednesday, May 14th. It is the second week of the Diddy trial. Third day. Yesterday, we had the first day of testimony, what is expected to be 4 days of testimony from CASSIE Ventura. This is Diddy's long-term ex. She talked about Kim Porter. She talked about Suge Knight. She talked about FOs. She talked about how she didn't like to do the FOs, and they did go to lunch. Now, when they broke for lunch, what I will tell you is most of the lunch break was occupied by the lawyers arguing with each other over separate different things. We'll read about that. We will read all about it. Things have happened. Has it even been an hour? Yeah, it has. A little over an hour. Shout out to Mel NYC Reviews. Just found my channel. Shout out to you. Shout out to Short Order Cook. The trial is indeed and in fact. Oh my God, Rockin' Robin. Thank you. I hope you're not lying to me. Please don't be lying to me, Rockin' Robin. But unless Rockin' Robin's lying. Breaking news. We talking about Jonathan Oddie. Okay, y'all. Oh my God, I think CASSIE is about to mention Lou Taylor. I can't waste another second. I can't waste another moment. Let's get right into it. Whoo, child. All right, here we go. Here's the Twitter. Oh, there was a funny tweet. Somebody tweeted me, look, when Surprise Witness reads this part, I'm over at Cowboys for Angels checking all the mail scorts. And she found one named Jake, and he looks white. Maybe it's going to be that Jake. Listen, Jake's a very popular name, okay? But that is a very interesting Miss SpaceX. She's funny. She comments under a lot of the tweets, so I've been reading them. I am going to be working on my lighting. I do understand, recognize that it's harder to see. I know you came here to see my face. I do understand it's harder to see my face when I have my screen up like this. I'm working on some different options. Okay. This is a 2 months long trial. So hopefully, I get it sorted out, but I know the light is shifting and stuff. There's not much I can do about it right now, but okay. Moving on. Whoo. Okay. Okay. They're back. Okay, cool. Cute. Okay. Okay. So where do we leave off? She was taking Valium. Okay. So they let the jury take a break. We read this tweet right here. Miss Slavic. So the judge goes to the prosecutor. Are there still disagreements on the exhibits? The prosecutor said, yeah, there are disagreements on the exhibits. Diddy and them want the exhibit to be longer, and they want it to be about self-you-know-what-ation. And Diddy's side was like, yeah, and the government wants to cut it off at, quote, looking at my iPad. Diddy's side said, we just heard this morning about videos on his devices. So this is relevant. Okay, so I don't know what this is about exactly. Maybe we'll get some more context when we read the other sources. I'm going to just keep moving it forward, but just in general, it appears that Diddy's lawyers are saying they just heard this morning about some supposed videos on Diddy's devices. Okay, the prosecutor said we can agree to more, but maybe not something maybe not 10 whole pages. Can we put, less than 10 pages? Okay, and now up comes a lawyer, and this all happened during what was supposed to be the lunch break. They were all supposed to be eating. They were doing this. The lawyer for this witness, the going by the pseudonym known as Mia, He says there is a jury instruction about victims. Mia would have taken this to her grave. I don't know how to support her if we can't discuss her pain, what she went through. Okay. So Mia, this alleged Diddy victim, her lawyer is standing up and saying, "Your Honor." Okay, so if you weren't here before the break, if you weren't here for the morning session, this morning Diddy's side tried to make it to where nobody can talk to their lawyers while cross-examination is going on. So like if there's a break, okay, cross-examination is where, okay, the feds are done asking Cassie a question, and then up comes Diddy's lawyers, and then they get to grill her. That grilling is called cross-examination. And so during that, even if you go out to the bathroom, go on a break, Diddy's lawyers want it to where they cannot talk at all whatsoever with their lawyers, because they think the lawyers are going to coach the alleged victims. And they think that the victims are going to ask for like advice on how to act or how to testify. But the prosecutors have said, this is like, what are you talking about? We can't talk to them. We have to talk to them about security. We have to talk to them about scheduling, what time to get places. We have to talk. What do you mean? The prosecution, sorry, the direct cross-examination could go on for days. There could be days of cross-examination where people can't talk to their lawyers for days. There's no way. What are you talking about? So there was a back and forth. Well, here is the lawyer for one of the alleged victims. Her name is Mia. Mia would have taken this to her grave. I don't know how to support her if I can't discuss with her her pain, what she went through. We will not put words in her mouth. Her nerves are through the roof, Your Honor. This lawyer, Hecker Fink. The judge says, we're trying to prevent witnesses being counseled on how to testify, what to say or not say. Anything else? Would that be acceptable? And he looks over to Diddy's side. The lawyer said, I'm afraid she's going to have a moment. She's going to lose it. And then she's going to ask me, did I forget something? I do worry. So this guy is putting the judge on notice. Look, listen, my client is nervous. Her nerves are through the roof. She would have taken this to her grave. She don't, maybe even like, isn't that excited about being here. Okay. So now you're telling me that she's going to have to go through all this pain, all these feelings. She can't even talk to me. This doesn't seem right, Your Honor. The lawyer said, I'm afraid she'll have a moment, lose it, and then ask me if I forgot something. I worry. So then another lawyer comes up. This is the lawyer to the other victim, alleged. Her name's Jane Doe. She's going with a pseudonym. The lawyer for this Jane Doe says, I'm worried too. I'm worried my Jane Doe client isn't going to know what she's going to be allowed to ask me. The judge said, as long as you don't coach her on testimony. And then here's Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor. He said, I have nothing to add. Okay. Then the judge says, okay, to Diddy's lawyer, he says, I've spoken to each attorney. And the Fed said, we are going to need a little bit more time to print the binders of, I guess, their evidence or whatever. I don't really exactly know. Then the judge said, okay, we'll break. Okay. So then about 30 minutes ago, they get back in court, 1:53 p.m. The time right now at the time of this live is 2:10 p.m. They are belatedly back. All rise. As to Exhibit 619, the objection to the defendant's proposal is overruled. Okay. So Diddy proposed something about Exhibit 619. The judge was going to grant it. The feds objected. I don't know what it is. But the judge sided with Diddy. Let's have Cassie back. Then we'll bring in our jury. Jury entering. Assistant U.S. Attorney Johnson. I didn't mean to click on that. Okay. The assistant U.S. Attorney, the prosecutor says, I have a binder for the court. This is only 10 minutes ago. The gallery will not be able to see these exhibits. Okay, so here we are, y'all. We're finally on the thing where it's like the jury is not going to be able to see these exhibits. Excuse me. The gallery is not going to be able to see these exhibits. The only people that are going to be able to see these exhibits are the jurors, okay? And, in the parties. So they're showing some things. They have binders. Binders full of what? We don't know. Okay, Cassie, I'm going to show you some exhibits. This is 10 minutes ago. 2A-404. Who is it? She worked for Diddy. Okay, we'll call her Mia. When you gave your devices to the government, were they working? No, they were broken. Put up exhibit 602-A for Miss Ventura and the jury only. Okay, so they're able to see some picture. The government, 3 minutes ago, prosecutor, what's on your skin? Cassie said, oil. When did Diddy first hurt you physically? Cassie said it started within the first year. What staffers were present when Diddy was physical with you? Objection. Physical is vague. I think this is Xavier Donaldson. So then the assistant U.S. attorney said, yeah, mention names, girl. Yes, SpaceX, tell them, girl. So then the assistant U.S. attorney said, okay, fine. What staffers were present when Diddy was physical with you, meaning punching, hitting? Who was present? Ooh. Now I see why y'all are thinking that. I don't think they're going to say Lou Taylor. If anything, it's going to be Robin Greenhill, but I would actually be surprised to fully see her mention that much either, because she was very busy with Britney Spears. Okay. Let's see if NBC has anything for us. Let's go through our different sources. I love doing that. That's what you get here. Okay. Nothing new to this. No. The judge is back on the bench. The jury is in, and Cassie is back on the stand. Before the jury came back into the courtroom, prosecutor Emily Johnson clarified when asked by Judge Subramanian that today the government intends to show the jury sexually explicit photos that are still under seal, not videos, okay? Photos, images only. Johnson said, the prosecutor said, Diddy's side may show sealed footage during Cassie's cross-examination. Okay, so this is all sealed from the public. But today, as far as what we know from the feds, they apparently told the judge today in court that they don't actually plan to bring forward any videos today, but they are going to show some photographs, some images. Prosecutors admit photos into evidence. Showed Cassie a picture of Mia that has been admitted into evidence under seal. Cassie said Mia is a longtime friend of hers and worked for Diddy. The prosecutor showed Cassie an image of one of the escorts they commonly used for the freak-offs, which was also admitted but under seal. Cassie said the still image was taken from a video of an FO. That was one of her devices she turned over to investigators. Johnson, the prosecutor showed Cassie an image of herself and a different escort in a freak-off. So the image we saw with the oil, the image we saw, or we didn't see, the image we didn't see, but we talked about from Inner City Press, when Cassie answered, the question was, what was on your body? She said oil. Image was taken from a video, one of her devices. It was her and a freak-off participant, which was an escort. Okay, let's see if Inner City Press has said anything else. Now, they did take up most of the lunch break, so they had to actually start even later than they originally were supposed to or going to. Okay, nothing new here. Let's see. what the New York Post has to say. Finally got that one up and working. Okay, the jury is now looking at X-rated freak off pictures. Interesting. Okay. Let's start here 17 minutes ago. Other alleged victims worried about upcoming testimony. Quote, nerves are through the roof. During the break, lawyers for the two other alleged victims expected to testify later at trial said they are extremely worried about taking the stand. One woman, Mia, who worked for Diddy as his personal assistant for several years, will reveal details of horrific ordeals she would have otherwise taken to her grave, her attorney, Michael Ferrara, said. Quote, candidly, her nerves are through the roof. I don't know how to support her if we can't discuss the pain she is going to experience from having to tell the world about her worst experiences. Another accuser, Jane Doe, has had, quote, very serious breakdown moments in preparation for this trial, her attorney told the judge. Here's how much longer Cassie could be on the stand for. Cassie will most likely continue to testify through the end of the day and into tomorrow at Diddy's trial. The prosecutor told the judge she expected to wrap up questioning before trial finishes Wednesday, that's today, leaving time for Diddy's lawyers to begin cross-examining Cassie. Diddy's lawyer, Teeny Garagos, told the judge the defense strategy would have to shift because Cassie's testimony hasn't gone as expected. Diddy's team has said it planned to show that all his alleged victims actually took part in FOs consensually. Okay, so that's what they're going to try to show. All right, this is coming from New York Post 12 minutes ago. Diddy seems less upbeat after Cassie's morning testimony. After the jury left the room for the lunch break, Diddy looked back toward his family. His son, Christian, had his arm around Diddy's mom, Janice. Diddy looked back at them for just a moment and then turned around. He then exhaled and slowly shook his head. He seemed more upbeat earlier on in the trial, making his hands into hearts and even giving his mom a friendly wave and whispering, "Hi, Mom, I love you," at her on Monday. I'll let y'all interpret that how you will. Testimony continues after extended lunch break. Testimony started back up just before 2 p.m. after an extended lunch break. Prosecutor Emily Johnson is continuing her questioning of Cassie. Cassie is now viewing still images from a freak-off video identifying herself and male escorts in the X-rated frames that are being withheld from the public and the press. New York Post is one of the ones that sued. They had a lawyer write a letter saying we, meaning the public and them, because I would not be looking at this, but they were saying they should be able to see it so they can report on it. So Cassie's looking at the pictures right now, 5 minutes ago, identifying herself and the male escorts in the frames that are being withheld from the public and the press. Quote, "Yes, that's me. And Dave," Cassie said, matter-of-factly. Okay, let's see. Inner City Press, anything? Nope. NBC decided to get up and make a tweet or make an update. Oh, they just took pictures of tents on the sidewalk. They're on the sidewalk already. They waiting to enter tomorrow, y'all. No freaking way. Oh, spent the night. Maybe they already spent the night. This could have been from earlier, true. Okay, well, that's okay. Interesting. Go away. We got 3 new updates from CNN. How the court is keeping the explicit photos out of the public's view. The sexually explicit images being shown in court are out of view for the public inside the courtroom. Prosecutors handed binders to the judge and Diddy's lawyers with more than half a dozen still images taken from freak-offs. More than half a dozen. So between 7 and 12. It's probably like 7 or 8. The photos were then shown on screens before Cassie, who is currently testifying, and the jury. The images were not shown on the monitors at the lawyers' tables to avoid any members of the public or press from being able to view them. When one of the images of an escort was referenced, Diddy leaned across one of his lawyers to get a better look at the images in the binder. Oh, he's looking. He's craning that neck. Good thing it's so muscular. Some of Diddy's employees quit after witnessing him physically abuse her, Cassie testifies. Cassie testified that early on in their relationship, Diddy's security personnel and driver saw him physically abuse her. In later years, assistants, including one named, quote, Mia, this isn't really her real name, it's a pseudonym, witnessed the abuse. Some assistants told her they quit after witnessing the abuse. Jurors react to images being shown in court. The jury is now seeing explicit images taken from some of the freak-offs. One female juror let out a deep breath and rested her hand on her chest as the image was placed on the monitor before her. Oh, that's not good. That's not good for Diddy. Whoo, she said. Probably no, she just let out a deep breath. She said, that's what she did. As an image was placed on the monitor before her, a male juror looked at the screen at one of the images and his eyes appeared to move away quickly. A different male juror wrote on his notepad. Ooh, I'm glad they're putting the jury reactions. Yes. 1 minute ago, another 1 minute ago, another update. Cassie describes the physical fights she had with Diddy. Cassie testified that there were times when she initiated physical fights with Diddy, but she never saw any injuries on him afterward. She said after he abused her, she would have to recover for days, usually by hiding out in a hotel room. Anytime he was physical, there would at least be some trace, a bruise or something. And because I think this is stealing the thunder, or at least getting a little bit ahead of the arguments that Diddy's lawyers will absolutely make, and that is going to be that Cassie was violent. She was violent herself. You know, you remember Teeny Garagos saying this in the opening statements, and shout out to, why do I always want to call her Notorious Sylvia? Infamous. Shout out to Infamous Sylvia. She sent me the transcript of the opening statement. I don't know where she got it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be looking through that this weekend. I'm going to catch up on everything we missed, see if I can't make a couple videos on the big main takeaways. I'm going to see how I can get that information out to y'all. But Diddy's lawyers have indicated that they are going to argue that Cassie was also an aggressor. She was abusive. She was hitting him. She was hurting him. And so now, getting it out of the way, just in the jurors' minds first, I think that's their strategy for putting this here. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. But I think it's that there were, this right here. After he abused her, she would have to recover for days, usually by hiding out in a hotel room. You just learned about the stitches. Anytime he was physical, there would be at least some trace, a bruise, a scratch, whatever, something. And she said, but Diddy never had any injuries. We have 2 updates from the New York Post. Jury shown X-rated. No, where's the new ones? Jury shown X-rated freak-off images hidden from public as Cassie matter-of-factly IDs escorts herself in explicit pictures. Cassie is now viewing still images from a freak-off video, identifying herself in male escorts in the frames that are being withheld from the... Oh, we already read this. So where's the 2 new ones? They said there was new ones. They lied. All right, let's go to Inner City Press. All right, we got 2 new tweets here, maybe 3. When did Diddy first use violence on you? Cassie said, in New York City, we were in a car with his security and he knocked me around. What did he do? Hit me in the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade 1 minute ago. In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Diddy? Yep, I did. Prosecutor said, what happened as you left? She said, I'd been speaking to a producer about music. Diddy called me a SLUT. I hit him in the face. I had been drinking. Did you see any injuries? Cassie said, no. Although you shouldn't be hitting people in the face. You should not do that, even if you've been drinking. But I do think they're going to bring this up, Diddy's side, and they're kind of getting out in front of it, or attempting to. Let me see if I can find some other sources. What were we doing yesterday? CNN, NBC, Washington Post. I don't know if they got people in there today. Allegedly. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, let's go to the Washington Post. $29 minutes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh, thank God. I call them my detail queens for a reason. All right, we'll start here. The court. Okay, so they're explaining some more things. See, parties on the electric. I know. We'll start here when it started. Second session. Anne Brannigan from Washington Post says a notable absence for Wednesday's testimony, Diddy's daughters. They were present all day Tuesday as Cassie recalled graphic details of sex and violence. Diddy's three sons, Christian, Justin, and Quincy, were here Wednesdays to support their father, and as was Combs's mom, Janice. All right, so the daughters, I think that was a good judgment call, whoever said to not bring the girls back again. I mean, I do see why they came. I do see why they would have wanted to come. I totally do. And they're like, they're old enough to have some type of opinion on it, like be able to have some say. I mean, but they're still minors. I think they're maybe 16 or 17. I could see them wanting to see their dad and stuff and support him and all that. But y'all, I mean, after the urination thing, please, please. Okay, 21 minutes ago, Washington Post said court back in session. Prosecutor has handed Cassie a black binder, the exhibit feed, which shows onlookers and the press what evidence the government is presenting for the jury. It has been turned off. The evidence they are showing to the jury is now under seal. Cassie was shown an image of Mia, an alleged victim who will be testifying under a pseudonym, and asked whether she's familiar with her. Cassie said yes. She identified an image of Jules, a male escort she was previously referencing in her testimony, and these images were also from a freak off. Cassie confirmed. So there are still images from a freak off in court. Cassie confirmed in her testimony. Ventura, Cassie, identified another image of herself and Jules at a different freak off. So a second freak off. Okay, still shots, not videos. These are still images from videos that were taken from Cassie's personal devices. So we're getting a little bit of a different story, and I'm glad we are. We're getting different versions of this story from different sources. We have Shayna Jacob. Shout out to her. She's been in the courtroom all week. She's saying something a little different than what we just read elsewhere about the jurors being gasping and looking away and stuff. Look at this first sentence. She says, jurors did not have any notable facial expressions as they looked at the series of freak-off photos shown during Cassie's testimony. Some looked at their screens briefly. So I don't know if it's like they have a little screen in front of them or what. Hopefully Mims is in court today. Maybe he'll tell us. Looked at their screens briefly as each photo was shown and then switched their gaze to Cassie. So they look at the screen briefly. They got what they needed to get and they look back up. Others occasionally took a second or third look or stared down at their seats, situated at lap level. For most of the time they were displayed. Oh, sorry, screens. Okay, so their screens are at lap level. So the jurors have, I guess, individual screens that come up. I want to know what it looks like inside of there. Cameras are not allowed. Most of the time they were displayed. Okay, jurors at big trials often remain dispassionate, meaning like they don't show a lot of emotion on their faces, even while viewing disturbing court exhibits or hearing unsettling testimony. Cassie was asked by the government if she ever started a physical fight with Diddy, and she said she did. The prosecutor followed up by asking if Cassie had ever seen injuries on Diddy as a result of a fight that Cassie started. Cassie said she never saw any injuries on Diddy. The prosecutor asked then if Cassie was injured as a result of him becoming physical. Cassie said she had been. There would be at least a bruise. These fights would require days worth of recovery, she said. She was about to elaborate on where she would hide out. She said hotel rooms. Before Diddy's lawyers objected to the line of questioning. Both sides are now having a sidebar with the judge. We have another update from CNN. 2 minutes ago. Quote, I was just shocked. Cassie testifies about the first time Diddy was violent with her. Cassie is now testifying about the first instance of violence with Diddy, which she said happened in the first few years of their relationship. Okay, so that's a different detail too. Elsewhere, we read that it was within the first 1 year, and this is like the first few years. So I don't know which one it is. Two different reports. This is CNN.com. Cassie said she was at dinner when she saw Diddy flirting with somebody else. Another person saw that Cassie had noticed, and she just shrugged her shoulders. She's saying Cassie testified that she saw Diddy flirting with somebody, and somebody else there, I don't know who, noticed. Somebody else there looked at Cassie and noticed that she noticed Diddy was flirting with somebody. And Cassie said at that time, she just shrugged her shoulders. When they got in the car after dinner, Cassie says, quote, he hit me in the side of my head and I fell to the floor of the car. His security and driver were also present in the car. Quote, I was just shocked and I didn't necessarily understand what happened and why he was so angry, except for the little bit he said as he was hitting me in the car. And I just went home and kind of hid out after that. Wow. This is like a nightmare if true. I mean, it sounds like a nightmare. Oh, man. Okay. We have some new tweets. We have a series of new tweets. This is a January 2009. So just a few years after they had been dating. They met in 2006, but then they didn't start dating till 2000. That's the thing, is like they met and then they kind of were kissing and they went on the boat. And when did they actually officially start dating? It's kind of unclear. But in any event, this was January 2009. What happened as you left? The prosecutor asked. Cassie said, I had been speaking to a producer about music. Diddy called me a SLUT. So I hit him in the face. I had been drinking. Did you see any injuries? She said, not on him. I was on the floor of the car and he stomped on my face. How long did this last? They asked Cassie. She said 10 minutes. Then I tried to get away, but Diddy security brought me back. Who? Roger Bonds. Whoo, how many Fed podcasts has that guy been on? Oh man, are these going to end up being co-conspirators? Has this been just like in the works for like 20 years or something? This is crazy. Roger Bonds has done podcast interviews, okay? And I think, am I right or am I right? Put a R in the chat. Put a bunch of R's in the chat for Roger right. Put a bunch of W in the chat for wrong, I guess. W's. She said Roger Bonds came pick her up and bring her back. She tried to get away, but Roger Bonds brought her back. What did they tell you? To go to a hotel, Cassie said. They snuck me into a hotel, covered up so no one else would see my face. Next question. How long were you at the London hotel? She said a week, maybe more. An assistant brought me ice cream. What was the assistant's name? Cassie said her name was Genevieve. Did you feel you could leave the London hotel? No. I did not feel I could leave the London hotel, Cassie said. I understood his capability, his access to pew, the threats he made. And this was now reminding me of the Liam Payne. You know, he died in the hotel in Argentina, was it? And they have ruled his death to be a homicide, I think. Oh, man. Cassie said I did not feel free to leave the hotel. No, I tried to leave. Roger Bonds came pick me up, brought me to that hotel. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you think? No. Did you know that this assault incident was reported? I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names, Cassie said. Oh, this is bringing back Britney too. I know there was a blind item on the internet, but it didn't have our names. You know those blind items by the NT lawyer? Who raised the blind item to you? Cassie said, my mother. So her mama was looking at the blind items. She brought it to Cassie. what was the blind item about? Just to remind y'all, it was where they got into it. They snuck in Diddy and covered up so no one could see his face, her face, excuse me, with Roger Bonds. She tried to leave. Roger Bonds picked her up. She's testifying. I don't know if it's true. I wasn't there. What did they tell me? What did Roger and Diddy tell her to do? To go to a hotel. They snuck me into the hotel, covered me up. Nobody could see my face. How long were you at the hotel? More than a week. Somebody brought me ice cream, Genevieve, an assistant. Did you feel you could leave this hotel? No. He had pew pew. He had made threats already. When were you taken there? When you were taken to the hotel after the assault. I don't know what the no is here. Did you know that it was reported? I know there was a blind item on the internet. It didn't have our names because my mama told me, and then there was an objection. Jury will not know what a blind item is. SpaceX, which said, oh, Miss SpaceX. Do you know this assault was reported? Okay, so that's the most recent there. Let's go to, New York Post has 4 updates. Oh, who's this? James Cruz. Okay, good, cool. We got some visual aids. Cassie lists the people in Diddy's circle who witnessed him allegedly abusing her. Cassie told jurors about a slew of people who witnessed Diddy beat her up throughout their tumultuous 11-year relationship. The R&B singer said Combs security guards saw him assault her, as well as his assistants, his driver, and Cassie's music manager. Okay, so this is a new detail. The music manager, Cassie's music manager, was this guy, James Cruz. He saw Cassie. He saw Diddy, allegedly, according to this testimony, physically harming Cassie. They tell you it's 4 or 2 new updates, but it's not. They lying. Okay, NBC has something new. Each juror has their own screen to view sensitive images. Post-lunch proceedings were delayed as the court put finishing touches on installing personal video screens. So these must have been the privacy screens for each juror. So sensitive video and still images are shielded from public view. Cassie identified herself and others engaged in various sexual acts as the jury paid very close attention. The courtroom was silent. One female juror nodded as Cassie identified people, and one male panelist took written notes. Quote, "That's me," Cassie said, of one image, adding that she had baby oil applied to her with a candle and lubricant on a nearby table. Trying to balance out the warmness. Okay, maybe that'll work. All right, let's go to Inner City Press. Two minutes ago, we got another tweet. This was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me. Cassie, the prosecutor said, "Well, what did you say to her, to your mom, when she asked if it was you?" No, I didn't want my mom knowing something of that magnitude. She might be in danger. When you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened? I saw executives from BET. Then I heard Diddy was there. And what did you do, Cassie? She said, I left. I ran out as fast as I could. Why? And then the prosecutor said, why? She said, I thought Diddy was mad. I thought he was angry. Let's see, Washington Post. They come with the details. They're the ones that told us Diddy's daughters are not in court today, okay? It's like, you know what? They know. They know that people want to know. It's a little too warm. Let's do that. Let's try that. 3 minutes ago, we got an update from Washington Post. This is, again, Anne Brannigan. Cassie recounted once initiating a physical fight with Diddy as they rode in a Cadillac Escalade in Los Angeles. I will tell y'all, I've taken a look at the declassified FBI files for Tupac, Biggie, COINTELPRO, Black Muslims, and I'm not talking about like Black people who are Muslims. It's like a specific designated, designation by the FBI, take it up with them if you don't like the definition. I didn't make it up. But there's like a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of like loyalty to certain types of cars, certain like colors of cars, like black Cadillac, black Escalade came up a lot in the FBI files about, oh, dare I say it was the Black Muslims. It's like kind of like they were saying, I don't know. I mean, listen, the FBI is wont to have lied about things in the past. Okay. So just take it, for what a grain of salt or whatever. But apparently, this is like a detail that could be important. Cause I said it yesterday. Does it feel like the Washington Post and like, what was it? NBC or whoever it was, like are onto something we aren't, like they're focusing on certain things that it's like, why are they saying that? But I do appreciate, I call them the detail queens over here at the Washington Post. There's 9 of them in there. Look, six today. But it's like the other ones, I don't know where they are. They not on the live beat. They just doing like, we're writing articles maybe. Anyway, they in the Escalade. She said she punched Diddy in the face hard as she could, after which his whole demeanor changed. His eyes went black. Ooh, the demon time came out. He began to attack her. She took shelter under the back seat of the Escalade, she said, and tried to cover her face as Diddy stomped on it. Oh my Lord, y'all. His altar switched. The programming glitched. Just kidding. All right, let's go back to Inner City Press and see if there's anything else new. Okay, I don't know how the Jonathan Oddie thing got confirmed. Was somebody lying? Where is the proof? That is, yeah, seriously. Somebody posted a tweet, quote, "She didn't try to leave. She actually did many times." That's where it comes down to with me. It's like, they're not going to be able to get very far with the, "Why didn't you ever leave?" Because now there's like many times she did leave. She tried to switch her seat. He followed her, like different things like that. Somebody said he was in the book of Who said? Oh, Tisa said it. They confirmed Jonathan Oddie is going to testify, and Tisa Tells is in the courtroom. Y'all, I got to give it to Tisa over there. I was on my break. I'm tired enough as it is. I'm on my break eating my lunch. Tisa Tells is outside the courtroom after having been in this, let's be honest, energy harvest of a court trial for 3 days under an umbrella. Her notes paper is melting in the rain. I had to give her a super chat. I mean, she's out there. She is out there. Jennifer Ward is saying his picture was shown. Who said it? Who said it, Jennifer Ward? I want to read it. Frida said it's Boulay. Ooh, Allie said, I agree with the person who said Diddy pulled Cassie's hair and said the other story of shaved head was just to cover up his violent behavior against her. D. Smalls, it does appear that she could have perhaps, if these things are true, yes. She did leave many times. Exactly, Jasmine. Exactly. Shout out to the mods in the chat. Oh my God. Diamond Rainbow, you don't have to be in here, girl. Like, you can take a break. Like, it's going to be long. I appreciate it. But I just feel bad. Y'all in here all day. Shout out to Diamond Rainbow in the chat. Shout out to Monica. Shout out to all the mods in the chat. Thank you, Fro Baby Lou. First, super chat before the live even started. Thank you for that $1.99. Justice for Cassie. There you go. Edie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. They're saying it's confirmed. I'm trying to find a little bit more of a source before I say for sure, because I know stuff does spread fast online, but they saying Tisa said it. Thanks so much for the $1.99 super chat. We'll get to the bottom of it. Don't worry. Thanks so much, Ro. New to your channel. I really appreciate your coverage. Thank you, Ro. And thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Y'all make sure you got the bell on too, because this is one of those channels where, sometimes you might get unsubscribed. Sometimes you might not get notified. Thank you, Ken Rick, for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Black Sheep Lone Wolf, for the $10. Great coverage. It feels like I'm actually in the courtroom. Love the personality with the coverage. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Black Sheep Lone Wolf. And also, again, for that $10 super chat. Thank you, Ben Duro. Thanks for the live stream. I'm a tile contractor remodeling a bathroom and love having you talk about the case through my headset all day. Ben Duro, are you in New Jersey? Because I have some things you could come work on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love hearing stories like this. I love hearing what y'all are doing while I'm doing the live. People will say, I was watching you and I was folding clothes or doing whatever. It's like, yes, I love that. Well, we'll be here for a while. So let's go. Thanks for the $10 super chat. All right, let's see if there's anything else new getting tweeted out here. I want some Audi. Updates. I'll Google it. Okay. We do have some new tweets from Inner City Press, so let me get those first. Most recent tweet was the one where she was at a party with her girlfriends. She saw executives from, excuse me. Here you go. She saw executives from BET. Then she heard Diddy was there and she skedaddled as fast as she could. Why? Cassie said, I thought he was angry. Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? She said, yes. He beat me up and called me names and my face was bruised. In this photo, who is it? Oh, snap, everybody. Where is my, what was my friend's name doing tiles? Kid Cudi has entered the chat. Now I imagine someone out there in the world who's only listening, and now I feel like I have to narrate everything. Kid Cudi has entered the chat because I know not everybody's looking at the screen all the hours. Scott Mescudi, also known as Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011. Did Diddy find out? Yes, in my phone. He went through my phone during a freak off. He found an email. About what? Taking my toiletry bag to Kid Cudi's house the next day. Diddy put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. I called Kid Cudi back on the burner phone. Where did you go? That's the most recent, 22 seconds ago. We do have 2 new updates from CNN. Combs' security team once chased after Cassie after a fight, she says. Cassie is describing another time Diddy was violent with her. She said after a party at a Los Angeles club, Diddy called her names. She said she drunkenly punched him in the face, which is assault. I mean, I'm not going to be sitting here being like, yes, Slay, hit him in the face. You just can't encourage this because what happens is it escalates. Then he escalates and she escalates and people literally no longer become walking around on this earth, if you know what I mean. Okay, so you can't be just hitting people. But he should not have been. There's a lot more blame to go around to him than her, I will say, just lest there be any confusion. Way more blame. And I could also see, if I'm the one in that situation, just to be clear, who knows what I would do. I'm not saying I'm the perfect person either, but I just, I gotta also follow the TOS. They don't want us glorifying certain things over here. Okay. She said she drunkenly punched him in the face, which prompted Diddy to beat her, stomp her in the face. She lied on the floor in the Escalade. When they got to the house, she said she jumped out of the car and tried to run down the street. This is a new fact, a new detail testified of today. But Diddy's security eventually caught up with her and brought her into the house. So she got literally chased down the street. And she said it was Roger Bonds. I noticed they don't mention his name here. Cassie said she finally looked at her face once she was at Diddy's house and she just didn't recognize herself. Quote, just knots and bleeding, swollen, everything. I looked horrible, Cassie testified. Analysis. Cassie's, quote, flawless testimony may have the defense adjusting their strategy. Cassie did not hold back on the details of what she endured during her years-long relationship with Diddy while on the witness stand. CNN legal analyst and trial attorney and podcast host Mercedes Colwin told CNN. As a result, the defense may now have to adjust their cross-examination strategy following what this lawyer described as Ventura's, quote, Flawless and meticulous testimony after she has spent over 8 hours testifying as the prosecution's star witness in Diddy's trafficking trial. Quote, the core essence of this case is that Cassie was under the control and the coercion and threats of violence by Diddy. That's the key. She is the cornerstone of this prosecution. This lawyer analyst added the defense, quote, has to really think to themselves, are we really going to attack her on whether or not she consented to all these freak offs? When now she is today describing the physical toll that took place as a result. She pointed to Cassie's testimony about the time it took for her to recover about these encounters and the physical symptoms that she endured and how, quote, unemotional she was at times while delivering parts of the testimony. The defense has to say to themselves, she comes across as a very secure witness. She's a very confident young woman, the lawyer said. New York Post has 2 new entries. Cassie is now being questioned about her relationship with Kid Cudi. She said she remembered Diddy lunging at her when he found out about her relationship with Kid Cudi. He found out during a freak off. Okay. He went through my phone, one of my phones, and he found emails with one of his staffers. Emails with one of his staffers. Okay, so Cassie's doing a freak off. And Diddy opens up her emails just to check. According to testimony. I don't know if it's true. He opens the emails just to check and went through her phone, found emails of Cassie emailing back and forth with one of the staffers about Kid Cudi. That's how he found out. That's how Diddy found out during a freak off going through Cassie's emails. I mean, this relationship is definitely toxic. I could say at the least. Okay, I'm going to refresh over here on Inner City Press. Okay, 1 minute ago. Yes. Ooh, 2. Okay, we got 2 new tweets. We got 3 new tweets. Okay. Where did you go? The prosecutor asked Cassie. She said, to Kid Cudi's house. Then I talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Diddy's assistants. Okay, so we got another name dropped. Alert, alert, breaking, breaking. Where anybody keeping the Excel spreadsheet of names getting dropped. Here's another name dropped. Capricorn Clark. Previous name dropped. Roger Bonds. Previous name dropped. Kid Cudi. There were some more. Those just come to mind. I went to the house that Diddy was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt me and Scott. What videos was he going to release? Cassie said 3 minutes ago. Freak off videos of me. Diddy kicked me in the back. I got a bruise. Where did you go? To my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet. I told y'all each day. We're getting closer and closer to Poopy Gate. I told y'all each day. Why was there fake callus? It's going to come out. Mark my words. Make it a prediction right now, because right now it's a conspiracy theory and I get dragged across the coals for it. So one day, mark it, just like y'all do with Sloan Bella. Shout out to her, a prophet and a poet. We're going to find out they were having poo-poo parties. Mark it down. May 14th. I've been telling y'all since the Olympics. You're going to find out they've been having bacchanalian poo-poo parties. This is things they've been doing for like at least 1,000 years. I saw it on the side of a Greek vase when I did research on it. They wear white because that's what they wore at these Greek bacchanalia festivals. Maybe I should say Roman. I don't know which ones it was. They got the history all twisted up. I'm telling you, we're going to find out about poo-poo. We are. The Vince McMahon thing. Somebody poo-pooed on somebody's back during one of these freak-offs, allegedly, according to allegations filed in lawsuits. I don't know. I wasn't there. Oh, Lord. She went to her hotel and the room was torn up. Somebody peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. It was just before Christmas. I sent an email to my mom and Capricorn from my flight to Boston and Connecticut. What did you write in the emails? She said that Diddy said he would release the tape of me on Christmas, and he had Scott, and he would have Kid Cudi and me hurt. He said he would be out of the country then. That was 31 seconds ago. Oh, we have another tweet. What are these photographs? My mom took these in Connecticut of the bruises on my back. Were you entirely honest with your mother about the bruise? Sorry, excuse me, about the abuse? She said no. I said this was the first time. Did you tell her about the freak offs? Cassie said no. Let's see if we have anything new. No, that's the most recent. We got an update from NBC. I think we already saw this. Okay, we got a little bit more details. I will read it because it is more quotes, and I would like to include as much quotes from Cassie as possible. Cassie describes alleged beating that happened inside a car. She recalled a violent outburst by Diddy. She said happened early in their relationship that left her shocked and angry. She said she had spotted Combs flirting in a restaurant with another woman. And when they got back into the car, the rapper knocked her around in an outburst that allegedly happened in 2007 or 2008. He hit me on the side of the head. I fell to the floor of the Escalade. He shook me up and scared me quite a bit. So I got out of the car. I was shocked. I didn't understand what happened and why he was so angry. She added, quote, I knew his capabilities, his access to Second Amendment devices, and the threats he had made. Two new entries from the New York Post. Oh, we already... Do I need to like refresh it? Mm-mm. Okay. Let's see. We have two new updates from CNN. Okay, this is new information. Okay, this is good context. Cassie says she didn't have the resources to leave after Diddy beat her. Okay, so now we're going to get another answer of the why didn't you leave? She did in some cases, and then sometimes she couldn't. So we're going to get each different little reason as they lay out this direct examination. Cassie says she didn't have the resources to leave after Diddy beat her. Cassie testified about what happened after she said Diddy beat her following a party at a Los Angeles club. She said Diddy told her she needed to sneak out of the house and go with security to stay at a hotel. She testified that she snuck into a hotel, quote, covered up because no one could see me like that. She said she wanted to stay at Diddy's house instead of going to the hotel, but Diddy would not allow her. She told Diddy and his staff that she wanted to leave the hotel where she had been staying for like a week. She also said she didn't feel like she could leave and she didn't think it was safe for her to do so. This is kind of reminding me of what they had said in the Surviving R. Kelly. Like the mom was trying to break the daughter out. Quote, I didn't have the resources I needed to get out and move, to get out and not have anybody stop me. I understood Diddy's capabilities, his access to pew pew, and the threats that he had made prior to that. She said her mother read a description of the incident online that didn't include her name and reached out to see if it was her. That's how they're calling blind items, description of the incident online. But it didn't include her name, and she reached out to Cassie to see if it was her. She said, I didn't tell my mom the truth because I was ashamed, but also I felt like at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't want to put my mother in danger of knowing anything of that magnitude. She describes another incident of physical violence. Sometime during the first half of her relationship with Diddy, she and her friends went to a party at Prince's house. You know who manages Prince's estate? Do you want to know who manages Prince's estate, or at least used to? Maybe she gave the job up. TriStar Sports and Entertainment's Lou Taylor. Do you know who have Prince's soundboard, which ostensibly might have come from his estate? I don't know. Krusty Lynn Spears, aka Jess Margera. Yep, web keeps webbing. Don't worry, we're gonna jump into the web next week. We got 2 months of this, y'all. So I mean, we don't have to get the web out today. Cassie describes another incident of physical violence where she was at Prince's house. Lou Taylor, your freaking ticket's been pulled, baby girl. She said she didn't tell Diddy about the party because she thought he wouldn't let her go. Once she arrived at the party, she caught a glimpse of Diddy and could tell he was mad. I ran out as fast as I could. Diddy later burst into the room at the hotel where Cassie was staying. She said they went into the bedroom so her friend who was sleeping on the couch wouldn't hear anything. Quote, he beat me up in that room. He was throwing luggage at me, just calling me all kinds of names. Cassie said she had bruises on her face and knots on her head afterward. Wow. She's probably got brain injuries from all this. She emailed her mom in 2011 saying Diddy had threatened to release sex tapes. The jury is now being shown an email Cassie sent to her mom and one of Diddy's employees in December 2011. December 2011. If anybody's keeping a timeline, maybe we should start one. December 2011. There's an email. Cassie sends it to her mom and one of Diddy's employees. The email says that Diddy has threatened to release, quote, explicit sex tapes of her, including one on Christmas Day. In the email, Cassie also said Diddy threatened to hurt her and Kid Cudi, who Cassie was dating at the time, but not with his own hands. He said he would be out of the country when it happened, she said in the email. So now I think they're starting to build up the case of like, yeah, Diddy wasn't doing this stuff. He had his henchmen. He had his hench women. He had his hench people. He had his hench theys and his hench thems even. Okay. We have an update. This is the New York Post by Ben Kochman and Priscilla DeGregory. Cassie once emailed her mom warning that Diddy threatened to release X-rated videos of her. Cassie once emailed her mom warning her Diddy was threatening to release videos of her. She sent the email to her mom and Diddy's former assistant, Capricorn Clark. Where have I heard this name before? December 2011. The threats that Diddy has made of me. Okay, here's the quote. Are that he will release 2 sexually explicit videos, one on Christmas Day and one other one. Cassie wrote in this email. We have another update from CNN less than a minute ago. Cassie has asked for a short break. She's been testifying about the physical violence she endured while in a relationship with Diddy. Okay, let's see if we can get some more updates here. Depending how long the break is and if we can get caught up, we may be able to watch a little bit of that Jonathan Oddie interview while they're on the break. Now, these breaks really have been short. They really only take, 10 minutes or so. Okay, so what are these photographs? The assistant U.S. attorney asked Cassie before the break. My mom took those in Connecticut. They're of the bruises on my back. Were you entirely honest with your mother? Oh, no, there's one. Okay. About the abuse. No, I said it was the first time. Did you tell her about the FOs? She said no. Is it possible to take a break? Yes, break. Okay, so let's get these updates here. Less than a minute ago, we get a little bit more detail on the wine opener incident with Kid Cudi. Ventura testifies that, this is CNN.com. Ventura testifies that Combs lunged at her with a wine opener when he found out she was dating Kid Cudi. Diddy learned Cassie was dating another man during a freak-off in 2011. She recalled Diddy lunging at her with a wine opener between his fingers after he read through some emails referencing the man on her phone. Cassie said she managed to escape the freak off in a hotel room to go to another hotel where she had been staying. She called the man she had been dating, Scott Medusky, Miss Cudi, known as rapper Kid Cudi, on a burner phone to come pick her up. She said after speaking with one of Diddy's employees, she went over to Diddy's house to talk about things and try to resolve the situation, but he was irate Okay, this is new details. He was irate. He told me about videos that he had that he was going to release and that he was going to hurt me and Scott. She said, adding that the videos he was referring to were of the freak offs. We have another update from the New York Post 5 minutes ago. Cassie once emailed her mom. Oh, wait. Okay, no, we already read that. It like takes NBC a while to update for some reason. Okay. So I also wanted to let y'all know they have I'm not going to play the video, but they have released the full video of what was played of the hallway footage. So if you do want to see that, you can go and see that. I'm not going to be playing it here. There are some still images though in this article that I'm about to scroll through just to let you know. This is page 6, published this morning, 9:33. And shout out to Brittany Gonzalez, who was in the chat early this morning, keeping everybody entertained and updated, saying what news was going on. Oop. Again, y'all, this is live. I am going to just scroll. This isn't the videos. I'm going to try to scroll quickly past the images, but just let you know they are on here. Watch the full unedited video of Diddy bleep abusing Cassie during this hotel thing. The full unedited hotel surveillance video of Diddy abusing his then girlfriend Cassie has been released. One of the previously unseen clips was recorded on a camera placed in the corner of a hallway in the now closed Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, California. In the 15-minute video above, 15 minutes long this video is, Ventura, that's Cassie, who's barefoot and dressed in a dark-colored oversized hoodie and leggings, is seen carrying a large bag as she walked down the hallway and turned left into another area of the hotel that was out of view. That area, which was shown in another angle released last year, had 2 elevators. So here we have another. See, this is new. This is just newly released to the public today. Seconds later, Diddy, who wore nothing but a robe around his waist. Oh, it's a robe. Look how he's holding it on him. Oh my God. He is just. What's on his feet? Socks. Nothing but a robe around his waist and some colorful socks is shown running down the hallway and entering the same part of the hotel that Cassie had turned into. Diddy, now 55, then dragged Cassie by her hoodie back around the corner where they were both in view of the camera. He then sat on the floor. Cassie then sat on the floor for a second as Diddy began to walk back to his hotel room. As he got halfway down the hallway, Cassie stood up and returned to the elevators. Diddy, who held the bag that Cassie had initially had in her hands. So he took her stuff. Like he's like, you're not leaving. No, you aren't leaving. And so he's like, give me this. And he goes to walk back down the hall. When he goes to walk back down the hall, she went and walked back to the elevator. She said, I'm leaving. Now I know what part of the video was cut out. As he got halfway down the hallway, Cassie stood up and returned to the elevators. He was holding her bag in his hands. It's out of screen here. Turned around and then went back toward Cassie. After the disgraced hip-hop mogul kicked and dragged her, he began talking to her and pointing his finger at her. Ugh, this beast. Ugh. And I know he did it because he already apologized for it. Okay, so this one, we know he did it because he apologized. Look at that, y'all. Israel Flores. Right there. I guess it is a Z because they spelled it like that on page 6. Moments later, Israel Flores shows up. Look, she walks into the corner under the camera as a security guard chats with Diddy. They both were out of frame for a few seconds before Diddy reemerged and exchanged words with Cassie before taking her things down the hallway back to his room. Diddy then came down the hallway and began talking to Cassie, who was out of frame at that point, and he's pointing his finger at her. Moments later, Cassie walked into the corner under the security camera that Israel Flores, who is the security guard at the time. Remember, he testified. It was witness number 2? Yeah. It was second witness or first? First witness, right? And then the second one was the escort, and then the third one was Cassie. Flores followed Diddy halfway down the hallway to the hotel room before Diddy stopped and began actually talking to him. Again, y'all, I'm not going to be playing this especially live on my channel. Flores escorted Cassie to get her stuff and to leave in an elevator. The unedited surveillance footage was shown in court yesterday as Cassie took the stand to testify in Diddy's trafficking trial. Once Diddy continued walking down to his room, Flores motioned for Ventura to come over, presumably to get her things out of the room. A few moments later, Cassie reemerged, holding 2 bags in her hands, and went to the elevators. Diddy then exited. He then exited Diddy's room and headed for the elevators himself. Diddy later walked down the hallway to check out the part of the hotel with the elevators before he returned back to his room. Here is some of the photographs from the 2016 incident. I suppose this is the remnants of what was left of the vase. During her testimony, Cassie claimed Diddy forced a male escort to Dubai Porta Potty number 1 in her mouth. On Monday, Flores testified that Combs offered him a stack of money to keep quiet about the hotel assault on Cassie. Look, y'all, these are the pictures. They just came out today. This is the aftermath of that vase situation that had happened. Look at the chair flipped. I mean, the man is just maniacal if this is, what it appears to be. These are photos that the LAPD officer, he was not an officer at the time, took the damage done. The video concluded with 2 housekeepers chatting in the hallway. The unedited surveillance footage was shown today as Cassie took the stand to testify in her ex's trial. During her testimony, she claimed Diddy had a escort in her mouth, made her call him an incestuous name, and hosted his longest S and fueled off party for 4 days. Flores testified Monday that Diddy had offered him a stack of money. In November 2023, Cassie sued Diddy against the Last Night rapper, accusing him of R and repeated physical abuse. Okay, let's see if they're back from their break. Oh. I just want to go to what? Hold on. Okay, they're back 3 minutes ago. Okay, I guess, unfortunately, Mark Agnifilo was right. We have to say he was. Remember earlier this morning, and I guess also yesterday, the prosecutors had indicated that they only needed another half day with Cassie, or that's about how much they expected to spend continuing their direct examination. They're doing the direct examination is like the first round of questions, the first stuff that Cassie is going to be testifying about. Now, Diddy's going to get his turn through who's going to question her. It's probably going to be one of the women, if I had to guess, either Teeny, Nicole Westmoreland, or Alexandra Shapiro. I would be extremely surprised to see them have one of the male lawyers, especially an aggressive one who seems to be aggressive the most, would be Agnifilo. Brian Steele is pretty aggressive. He can be. And then Xavier Donaldson seems to be the one that's been screaming the objections. So I highly doubt they would put one of those on the cross. But this morning they were saying it was going to take about half the day. So, lunch is about the halfway point. Maybe a little after lunch. The judge asks the prosecutor, any estimate how much longer this is going to be for y'all? Because we got to get the cross-examination going too. She said, another hour. The goal is to finish the direct and allow the start of cross-examination today. The judge is like, all right, very well. Bring in the witness. Bring the jury back in. Let's go. Jury is entering. A few seconds ago, did anyone come to see you in Connecticut? She said, yeah, Kid Cudi did for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous. Objection! Objection! Judge said, overruled. Pipe down. Cassie said, Diddy said he would hurt us. What do you mean? Like, I broke it off with him because Diddy said he would hurt us. That sucks. Golly, that sucks. What I want to know is why it was she was allowed to like start dating what's his name and get married to him all of a sudden. That's what doesn't add up to me. Something must have happened. I don't know. I hope that question gets answered. We do have a new entry from the New York Post. I mean, they say they have new entries, but then there aren't any. Okay, now I'm doing Washington Post. These are our detail queens. All right. 9 minutes ago, they said Cassie is now being asked about Kid Cudi, a rapper she mentioned in the 2023 lawsuit against Diddy when she claimed Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car in a fit of jealousy. Right. If y'all didn't remember, this is the guy that I think this is where the arson comes in. I think his car like actually did blow up at some point. Yeah. This is crazy. Woo! She claimed Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car in a fit of jealousy. According to the lawsuit, Kid Cudi's car, in fact, exploded in his driveway a short time later. Cassie said she dated Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Mescudi, for a brief period in 2011 when her relationship with Diddy was on and off. Diddy found out when he went through her phone during a freak-off in LA. He found an email between Cassie and one of Kid Cudi's staffers that mentioned bringing Cassie's toiletry bag to Kid Cudi's home. Cassie said Diddy put a wine bottle opener between his fingers and lunged at her, but she managed to escape. We have two updates from CNN. Yeah, this is actually really, thank you. Good. Okay, cool. This is an analysis from CNN's Ali Rosenblum. Why the jury's reaction to seeing explicit images at trial matters. The jury on Wednesday was shown sexually explicit images taken from the FO videos while Cassie was on the witness stand, sparking a visceral reaction from several jurors. Now, we've been told different things here. They didn't have any reaction all the way up to visceral. Quote, if I were at the defense table, I would be very concerned because a picture speaks 1,000 words. This trial attorney said Cassie was describing it in direct examination. Now you can see a picture. These images are, quote, graphic enough to show and really hit home Cassie was not in a relationship as a consenting adult. Well, I don't know what this means. And this is part of the problem. Now, I personally do think these FO images generally should probably be sealed. I know we have a right to see stuff that is put up in trial and all that, but there's exceptions from time to time. I'm usually pretty, like, I guess, I don't know, liberal, conservative, depending which side you look at. But I'm trying not to use those words because they're associated with politics. I'm usually going to be the one that's going to be saying everything needs to be public if possible. The most extreme stuff should not be. And I think this, what she has described with the tinkling and things like that, this doesn't need to be in the public. I don't think it does. That's my opinion. The judge agrees with me, but reasonable minds can disagree on this. I do see how it could be a slippery slope. I really do. That being said, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him at all. So now we have this lawyer. Nobody saw these images, but here's this lawyer opining like she knows something we don't. She said their images are, quote, graphic enough to show and really hit home that Cassie was not in a relationship as a consenting adult. How does this lady know that? Nobody saw the pictures in the public. The images that were shown are out of view of the public, seen by the jury via binders that the prosecutors prepared, and on screens by Cassie and the jury. When the images were shown to the jury, one female juror took a deep breath and rested her hand on her chest, while separately a male juror looked at the screen at one of the images and his eyes appeared to move away quickly. 4 minutes ago, the jury returns after a short break, and they're back in the courtroom after taking a quick break. Cassie will continue her testimony soon. One new update from NBC. Cassie recalls the Prince house video. Ooh, Lou Taylor senses are tingling on this one. And like Britney Spears too. Because if you remember, Britney Spears, like while she was being like pretty much taken down, strategically annihilated by the media and the paparazzi and stuff, Diddy was very much all in the mix. He was all around. She was going out to parties the night before. She had huge performances where she was clearly sabotaged, and all the while Lou Taylor was trying to get her claws in, is what it seems like to me. Cassie recalled another incident where Diddy beat her, saying he got angry with her after she was at a party at Prince's house. She went to the basement believing the late artist was going to play music. She went to the basement thinking Prince was going to play music. I caught a glimpse of him, so I ran out as fast as I could because I thought he was angry. I knew he was angry. His facial expression, he came after me. Later, at a LA hotel room where she was staying, she said Diddy beat her up and threw luggage at her, and she had bruises on her face and knots on her head. We have another new update. Cassie says her mom took pictures of her bruises. We did hear this, but now we have more context in the form of a quote. Cassie recalled another incident where, oh wait, where'd it go? It just disappeared. Excuse me. It just disappeared. I know y'all saw that. Okay. So the most recent tweet we read over here was that Cassie said she broke up with Kid Cudi because it was too dangerous to date him with Diddy doing what he was doing. Well, Diddy's lawyers objected to that. They were like, object, don't characterize it. And the judge was like, shut up, sit down, overruled. Cassie then pipes up. Diddy said he would hurt us. Where did you go after Connecticut? I went to see Diddy. He was in Arizona, his son, college. I told my mom I was going to LA for work. Did Diddy talk about Kid Cudi's car? Yeah, Diddy said he wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see Kid Cudi's car blown up. So Diddy wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see the car blow up. What happened next? She said, well, we met. Diddy, Kid Cudi, and me. Kid Cudi said, what about my vehicle? Diddy said, what vehicle? And that was the end of the meeting. Put up the photo. What is the, Mustard, are you in the chat? I had a tingle about Sean Kingston. Lou Taylor sniff all around its stench. I don't know why. Sean Kingston, oh man, I'm going to do a BJ Investigates on that. Stand by for that. This confirms. I will be doing a BJ Investigates. They put up another picture. The prosecutor said, what's this? Cassie said, me and Sean. Oh, Sean. Girl, I did all that. That wasn't even Sean Kingston. I saw Sean in Kingston, Jamaica. Okay, erase all that. Jury will strike. Jury will disregard. Cassie said, that's a photo of me and Diddy in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash. I don't know what that is. Were you bruised? Yes. What about this photo? What is it? That's me in Diddy's bathroom, September 18, 2015. What were you doing there? She said, recuperating from being beaten up by Diddy in Vegas. Another Britney Spears crossover. Britney alleges that she was basically held captive as a prisoner, as a slave in Las Vegas at those residencies. The Maloofs were all taking her on dates. Larry Rudolph was in and out and about. He now owns some Live Nation. I mean, it's a web. The web's webbing. Okay. So there's 2 more tweets. 1 more tweet. No, 2 more tweets. There's a picture of Cassie in a bathroom, September 18th, 2015. What were you doing there? She said, recuperating from being beaten up by Diddy in Las Vegas. We were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer and Diddy tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room, and beat me, kicked me as I tried to hide behind the toilet. What stopped it? The prosecutor asked. Cassie said, D-Rock, the security guard, and James Cruz came in. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see if we got any updates over here. NBC, do they have any? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got a few new details. Yes. The government asked Cassie to review an email she wrote to her mom in 2011 while she was traveling home to Connecticut for the Christmas holiday, writing under the alias, quote, Veronica Bang. Cassie told her mom that Diddy had threatened to release explicit videos of her and had threatened her and Kid Cudi. She said Diddy told her he would be out of the country when he retaliated against them. Upon arriving at her family home for Christmas, Cassie had taken photos showing bruises on her buttocks and upper right thigh. The result of her visit, she said, to Diddy's home to try and resolve the jealousy over her relationship with Kid Cudi. She said she told her mom about the physical violence, but not the freak-offs. She couldn't hurt her like that. I was also just terrified. It's not normal. Cassie has asked for a break. This was a while ago. So the court briefly adjourned. He asked the prosecution to estimate how much more time they needed. He's been ending court promptly at 5. The prosecution said they need another hour, but don't hold us to it. Okay, there's some more details here. The prosecution said, yeah, we need another hour, but don't hold us to it. Sounds like the defense will at least be able to start its cross-examination of Cassie before the end of the day. And I don't know, like, if they're allowed to do this, but I would imagine they might be even trying to, like, make their direct last as long as possible. So Cassie, I mean, it's a long day. She's probably tired. Maybe it would be better to not start too early today with she's going to get beat down. She's going to get grilled by these people. They are going to be nasty. They're going to be, it's going to be shocking, I think, to some of y'all to see how they're going to be questioning her. That being said, I mean, it is their job. And maybe they, won't, but like, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Okay. So we got a couple more tweets from Inner City Press. I did link his link to the Twitter down below, and y'all can go and, if you click it, you can click on his profile. He has all his links there, and I do encourage y'all please to support him. Okay. We're having an after party. Okay. Diddy was beating her at an after party inside the hotel in a bathroom, apparently, allegedly, according to her testimony. It made D-Rock sad. What are these communications? So we're looking at more texts. Cassie said it's from D-Rock to me. He says, where you at? It's time to ice your face. Why? The prosecutor asks. Because I had just got beaten up by Sean P. Puff Combs. 38 seconds ago, another tweet. Were these all the times he beat you? Cassie said no. There were more. With whom else did you see Diddy be violent? I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Eli in his head. One time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged a person. We have 2 new updates from the New York Post. Diddy beat Cassie after spotting her at an exclusive party at Prince's LA house. This is Kyle Schnitzer, Ben Kochman, and Priscilla DeGregory from the New York Post. Cassie told the jury about how Diddy beat her up after spotting her at an exclusive party being held at Prince's house in LA. Cassie told the jurors she didn't tell Diddy she was going because she knew he would have definitely, this is a quote, we're getting a quote. Quote, he would have definitely not let me go. But she didn't want to miss the quote, once in a lifetime experience. Cassie says she went to the party with her friends and saw Prince, who now has died. And he was performing in his basement. But Diddy showed up unexpectedly and Cassie bolted. I caught a glimpse of him and I ran out as fast as I could. I knew he was angry at me. She testified she remembered running and falling in a bush, but she could not remember what happened next. Wow. She remembers running and falling in a bush and does not remember what happened next. Later at the hotel, Diddy caught up to her and beat her. Two new updates from CNN. Jury shown photos of Cassie with a black eye. The jury has been shown photos of Cassie with a black eye, which was mostly concealed by sunglasses. Photos were taken in Jamaica in 2013 or 2014. She testified that she doesn't remember exactly how Diddy gave her the injury, but she recalled hiding from him underneath a tractor with a friend for several hours. Okay, this is getting a little darker and darker each moment. Okay, Ventura testified she doesn't remember how Diddy gave her the injury, but she just remembers hiding from Diddy underneath a tractor with a friend for several hours. She says she and Kid Cudi met up after the rapper's car blew up. Diddy told Cassie that the rapper's car would be blown up. Cassie testified. Cassie also testified earlier that she was dating Kid Cudi at the time. Diddy told her he wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see the car blown up in the driveway of his home, of Kid Cudi's home. At some point, the car blew up. Sometime after the car blew up, Diddy, Ventura, and Kid Cudi had a meeting at the Soho house about the relationship. When Kid Cudi asked about his vehicle, Cassie said Diddy looked at him and said, "What vehicle?" The meeting promptly ended after that. Okay, let's go to Inner City Press. Okay, we have another tweet. She said, "I believe we had a freak off in Turks and Caicos. What floor did you live on?" In 875 Comstock. She said 17th floor. "Did a friend stay with you?" "Yes. Diddy came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony." I think this is the Bana story. Cassie says she broke up with Kid Cudi after Diddy threats. She said in 2011, while she was at home in Connecticut during holiday season, she called off her relationship with Kid Cudi after Diddy threatened them both. Quote, okay, so now we're getting a quote. We're getting the actual quote of what Cassie said. She says, quote, "I had broken off the relationship with Kid Cudi. There was too much uncertainty if we continued to see each other." She added, "There was danger." Quote, "Diddy said he was going to hurt the both of us." At one point, she said Diddy told her that when she was out of the country, okay, she would be out of the country. So we're getting conflicting reports on who was going to be out of the country when the car was going to get blown up. Was it supposed to be Diddy? Was it supposed to be Cassie and Diddy? Because this NBC reporting at 3:33 p.m. 1 minute ago said at one point Diddy told her when she was out of the country, Kid Cudi's car would be blown up. So is it her out of the country, Diddy out of the country? Who's out of the country? The friend was Bonna, I think, Patriots cards. He held the girl over the balcony from the 17th floor. She has a lawsuit also. Yes. I think that's the most recent one here. Let's see. We have an update from CNN. Oh my gosh. Cassie recalls when Diddy's security guard cried after seeing her injuries. Less than 1 minute ago, being reported by CNN.com. Cassie recalls when Diddy's security guard. Okay, she's now testifying about an altercation in 2015 in which she said Diddy beat her in a Las Vegas hotel while he hosted a party in the adjoining room. He punched me, kicked me. I was trying to run away. I made it into the bathroom. She was describing how she used to hide underneath. She tried to hide underneath the toilet to get away from him. Members of Combs' security and management teams finally came to the room to end it. Cassie said, describing how she had black eyes, golf ball sized knots on her forehead. She said one of Diddy's security guards started to cry. I see the headlines happening now, y'all. One of the security guards started to cry when he saw her. Cassie said she had to stay at Diddy's house for a little less than a week to recover from the injuries. Diddy's son, he's in the courtroom too. Diddy's son, I don't know which one, was also staying in the house with Cassie at the time. When Diddy saw her injuries during a FaceTime call, he told her to put more makeup on so his son wouldn't see the injuries. Woo-hoo! It is getting real at 3:37 p.m. on a Wednesday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Deanie leaks. I don't think so. Brittany goes, this is what I was thinking too. I was thinking about Brittany too. She always talks. Well, she said that one time, what was her favorite place to go? And she was like, I think it's Turks and Caicos. Okay, we got another one from New York Post, although it's like fake news when they say they got a new one. It's like not actually updating or something. They need to get their website together. Yeah, there's nothing new there. They lied. They lied. Okay, let's see if the Washington Post. I call them my detail queens. No, they hadn't said nothing since the break. Maybe they didn't get back in. I don't think there's anything new. Okay, that's the most recent one there. Who are we missing? What was it? CNN we had. Okay, we have CNN. We have New York Post. It was New York Times yesterday, wasn't it? I think maybe they weren't live today. Let me look. Somebody said, I think Britney was passed around, sadly. Justin Bieber was passed around. This probably happened to him as well. I would almost be more surprised if Britney never was forced to do a freak off, because the whole thing blew up with the conservatorship around 2018 as well. She was done. She was tired. She was worked like a dog, literally like a slave. She was enslaved and legally enslaved. And the whole thing blew up because she was doing these hypersexualized dance moves. She was sick of it. She was like in her 40s or late 30s at that time. She was over it. She was like, I have kids. I don't want them to see me like this. Like, can we just do a regular, little jazz hands and move along? They would not let her. They put her on lithium the next day for being uncooperative and having an attitude or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. Mia is an assistant. It's a pseudonym. Yes. About time Lou was mentioned. I don't think she was. Shout out Truth Talking. I don't think she was mentioned yet. I hope she gets mentioned. I hope she gets her own whole RICO trial investigation and innocent of proven guilty. Thank you, Empowered Wendy, for the $1.99 Let's Play Follow the Leader. Your turn. Thank you for the £2 green eyes. Peace, light, and love from Liverpool. Shout out to you. Thank you for the £2. Thank you, Sandy Toes, 110 for the $4.99 super chat. Thanks for being here. Thank you to Renee, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you to Lauren for the $10 super chat. What's crazy is Roger Bond's been saying for years he tried to protect her. She trusted him, and he left being security for Diddy because of this abuse. Yep, he did say that. He did say that. He did say that. Thank you again for the $10 super chat. Davis Lewis Love. I heard that that she testified Audie was one of the escorts, but I need to hear it from somebody inside the courtroom or one of these news sources, or I need to go watch Tisa herself. I know y'all said she did say that. So I will be going to check into that, but how many days this week have I been saying it? Both days, my Jonathan Audie senses are tingling. Then he did an exclusive interview yesterday talking about he's ready to get out of jail. He was having a bipolar meltdown or something. They've been keeping him for some reason. This happened in 2018. What all happened in 2018? Kim Porter passed away. Cassie, I think, got married to Douglas. What's his name? Alex Fine. 2018, Kim Porter passed away. Cassie got married. Brittany said no to a dance move. And then, the next year, the Free Britney movement would pop off, but not before she was forced into this recovery center in P freaking Diddy's neighborhood across the street from Irving Azoff. Bridges to Recovery. Oh my God, y'all. If you could see the web in my head. Thank you for the $5 super chat and for letting me know that. Thank you, RT Bell, for the $2 super chat. Your reading voice is so soothing. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Michelle gave 10 memberships. Shout out to you. Y'all better say thank you if you got one of those. Thank you. Okay, let's see if Inner City Press has tweeted any new thing else. Yes. Okay, she's like, I think we had a freak off in Turks and Caicos. I really don't know. Who knows? I lived on the 17th floor. Diddy came and held somebody and threw somebody, my friend, on the patio furniture out on the balcony. She said, I saw Diddy bring her back in from over the balcony and then throw her on the patio furniture. And Carrie Morgan, the prosecutor asks, Cassie said, I saw Diddy hit her in the head. Did you ever get rugs with the D at the front on your own? She said, occasional dealers, Opie, X, Valium. One new update from CNN. Cassie says she saw Diddy physically abuse other people. She recounted a time she saw Diddy punch someone in the head. On a separate occasion, on an international trip, Cassie testified she saw Diddy drag his assistant, quote, Mia, out of her bed and onto the deck outside of the room. This is, I think CNN might have this one mixed up. This is not Mia. This is not his assistant, unless Bono was his assistant. I think it was her friend. Cassie went on to describe seeing Diddy hold her friend over the balcony railing at her LA apartment early one morning. There was an incident. This is a quote from Cassie, quote, there was an incident where I was asleep in my room, and when I came out, Diddy was holding her and threw her onto the patio furniture. I saw him bring her back over the railing of the balcony and then throw her onto the patio furniture. The prosecutor, Emily Johnson, displayed a headshot of Cassie's friend. Cassie testified she is still friends with the woman. We have 3 new updates from the New York Post. Diddy said that the car would be blown up over the relationship with Cassie. Cassie told jurors that Diddy told her Kid Cudi's car was going to be blown up. Quote, he mentioned so they were both out of the country, that Kid Cudi's car would be blown up. And he wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see it. Those threats are what prompted her to break up with Kid Cudi. The next time she saw him was during a meeting. Diddy was during a meeting at Soho House with Diddy when Kid Cudi asked, what about my vehicle? Diddy said, what vehicle? And that was the end of the meeting, Cassie said. Now we're getting the pill. Now, in Little Rod's lawsuit, I think he said that it was KK, Christina Karam, and the other assistants who, including the drug mule, Brendan, whoever. Okay, wait. Diddy would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle on the sink in the New York apartment. He would say, "You can take him." He had doctors who would write the prescriptions in the name of an assistant. Woo! Y'all remember the special doctor Diddy sent over, the private doctor that went to Kim Porter on her deathbed to give her some type of checkup? Y'all got to go watch my Kim Porter videos on BJ Investigates about that doctor. 19 seconds ago, we get another tweet. Hold on, did I finish? Yeah. Your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened? Cassie said, well, my mom told me someone was taking pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head. You testified your relationship with Diddy ended in 2018. How is your health? She punched somebody in the head for taking pictures of her. Anyway, breaking. Diddy would put prescription medications, which were prescribed, in a vitamin C bottle on the sink in New York. And he would tell Cassie that she could take them. He had his own special doctors that would write the prescriptions. Ooh, I know Lou Taylor's shaking in her boots. Sometimes she would get them from dealers. Sometimes Diddy would have the prescription written. He, quote, had doctors who would write the scripts. Yeah, I know Miss SpaceX. Exactly. The baby oil being laced. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. It is really a slow drip. It is a slow drip. But it is happening toward that direction. I feel like we're going to learn something about this baby oil. 5 seconds ago, I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. So the last question that was asked to Cassie, you testified your relationship with Diddy ended in 2018. How was your health? She said, I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. The defense said, objection. Overruled. Pipe down. Be quiet. Next question. What is this? Cassie said, it's a photo of my front door in 2018. Publish it to the jury. Why is there a knife there? Cassie said, Diddy was coming around a lot, so I had it. She was going to protect herself with a knife. She said she had PTSD. She was sleepwalking. She was clearly a little paranoid. Even by 2013, she punched somebody in the head for taking pictures of her. But hey, look, sound like she had reason to be. Every time she tried to run away, she'd get hunted down. Let's go see the Washington Post. I feel like we haven't checked in over there for a while. Shayna Jacobs from the Washington Post 9 minutes ago said, Cassie said there were too many incidents of abuse during her 11-year relationship with Diddy to recall them all. But she remembered that some of his staff were visibly upset. When D-Rock saw me, he started to cry. Cassie said, referring to one of Diddy's regular security guards, as she recalled a beating that left her with black eyes, golf ball-sized knot on her forehead, a busted up lip. As the trial goes on, prosecutors may ask some of these former employees to corroborate aspects of Cassie's testimony. Hint, hint from the Washington Post, we might see D-Rock on the stand after all. 2 minutes ago, another update. This one's from Ann Brannigan of the Washington Post. Cassie's testimony about her relationship with Kid Cudi ended shortly after the court took a mid-afternoon break. Cassie said Kid Cudi had visited her at her house in Connecticut for the Christmas holiday in 2011, and this was shortly after she sent an email to her mom recounting how Diddy had threatened her and Kid Cudi over the relationship. Cassie said she broke it off with him, Kid Cudi, during the visit. It had gotten to be, quote, too much, she told the court. Too much danger, too much uncertainty. She said she worried that Diddy would hurt both of them. Let's see if Inner City Press has anything else. Oh my God, y'all. On Monday, he had 278,000 followers. And look how many he has now on Twitter, 318. He's gotten like 40,000 a day. Okay, 20 seconds ago. In August 2018, what happened? Ooh, I feel like we're about to hit the grand crescendo. I feel like something's about to come out right here. A big point, a big something big. In August 2018, what happened? She said, we were having a closure conversation. When did Kim Porter die? November 2018? We're having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. Were you seeing anyone? She said, my now husband. I think this is where they're going to ask, what's his name? Alex, fine, Cassie's husband. I think this is where they're going to ask him to leave. Okay, so 2018, Cassie said she was having PTSD. She was sleepwalking. She had knives. She was keeping knives by her front door in case Diddy showed up. Like, she was ready. You know, she was sending emails to her mom. All that. 2 new updates from CNN. Let's see if we can get some more details filled in here. Yeah, I knew it. I knew that addiction was going to come up. I also think it's going to come up with Diddy as well. He's going to also testify this, I believe. Or maybe not. If he were to testify, that might be what it was. She said one of her friendships ended after an altercation with Diddy. Cassie said her friendship with her best friend of 17 years ended in 2018 after an altercation with Diddy. Quote, he came in, he saw that we were going to do substances, and he literally hit her in the head with a hanger, noting it was a wooden hanger. So Diddy comes in and just beats Cassie's friend in the head with a hanger, according to Cassie. We get another update 2 minutes ago. Ventura says, Cassie says she sought professional help for opiate use several times during her relationship with Diddy. And, you know, I mean, they also said Britney Spears was a drug addicted lunatic. I mean, they could have painted Cassie out to be any kind of way. She said there was a period of time where she took opiates daily. She would feel ill. Oh, man, poor girl. She didn't take them. She said she was heavily dependent throughout her relationship with Diddy. She said she saw professional help for the opiate use 5 or 6 times during the span of the relationship, once every 2 years on average. She said, or less. She said she last did substances in 2022. She no longer uses them. I went to rehab and I sought professional help. Okay, so in August 2018, 3 months before Kim Porter mysteriously died, and I'm going to call it mysterious. Yes, I am. Why did she have fecal bacteria in her blood? That's what I want to know. We were having a closure conversation, Cassie says, August 2018. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. Were you seeing anyone? She said, yeah, I was seeing now I'm married to him, Alex, my husband. But yeah, I was seeing him at the time, August 2018. What happened next? Diddy came back to my house and R-worded me on my living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. Is she describing Demon Diddy? The man is clearly switching alters, but is he allowing Malik himself to invade is what I'm trying to figure out. His eyes were black. Quote, it was like taking something from you. The prosecutor said, you cried. What did Diddy do? He continued and finished what he was doing inside of me. Then he got up and left. She was crying. Did you ever have relations with him again? Yes. Voluntarily, Cassie said. We had a good night. I went back to his house. She said, can you explain why you did that after he R-worded you? She said, yeah. We'd been together for 10 years. So again, stealing thunder, because of course the defense is going to bring that up. So Cassie's saying it. She said, yeah, he came in, he violently R-worded me. Yes, I did do it with him again another time, and I did it on purpose, and I wanted to. I'd struggled with addiction. I wanted to. Yes, I did. We were together 10 years. I just wanted to. But that doesn't take away that he did come to my house and do this to me this one time. Cassie, okay, this is from Shayna Jacobs at the Washington Post. Cassie saw Diddy assault at least 2 of her friends. She testified, said that he held one of them over a 17th floor balcony at her apartment. Describing another encounter, she testified that Diddy once hit her friend, Carrie Morgan, in the face with a wooden hanger. She told the jury that she and Morgan, who had been close friends for 17 years, were no longer friends after that incident. Okay. New York Post have anything new? One new entry, they said. Cassie testified how this is New York Post, Kyle Schnitzer and Priscilla DeGregory. Cassie testified how she once saw Diddy drag his assistant on a trip in Turks and Caicos. She said on one day of the trip, they were all smoking and partying on the beach. Diddy went to the assistant's room and dragged her outside. I think she was falling asleep, Cassie recounted. He tried grabbing her phone. He dragged her out of the bed onto the desk outside of her room. Cassie said on that trip, she believes there was a freak off. She referred to the assistant as Mia. Okay, so this is the assistant who's another alleged victim. Okay, we're going to hear from this Mia testimony from this person. Actually, we heard from her lawyer earlier today. Yeah, look, who is apparently the same woman expected to testify at trial anonymously under the pseudonym Mia. Prosecutors alleged during opening statements that Mia worked for Combs for years as his personal assistant and that he forced her to perform acts upon him and he R-worded her. The court was shown a close-up picture of Cassie's eyebrow and black eye. When asked who gave her the black eye, Cassie responded, quote, Sean. Diddy prevented his family from seeing Cassie after she had sustained any injuries. He told me to make sure his son couldn't see me like that. The bruises on my face. Refreshing Inner City Press. 1 minute ago. We have another tweet. Who did you stay in touch with? She said, most people, though I pulled away. What did you message Diddy about after that? Just checking in. Wow. What is this? What is this? Who did you stay in touch with? The prosecutor asked. Most people, Cassie said, though I pulled away. What did you message Diddy about after that? She said, just checking in. Checking in like Big U checking in? Oh my God. What did he send you? Cassie said that he had iPads full of images and get him his money. What money? That's what I'm saying, JC. What money? Okay, while I'm waiting for this, let me look up the New York Times live Diddy, because they were doing it yesterday. Yeah, they are. But they slow. Okay. Are they not slow? That was just the crawler. Okay. Let me pull this up. Here you go. Okay, so we have more quotes about the Kid Cudi thing from Joe Coscarelli from the New York Times. Back on the stand 35 minutes ago, Cassie testified she broke things off with Kid Cudi after Diddy's threats against both of them near the end of 2011. She said, this is the full quote. We have a fuller quote. Too much danger, too much uncertainty of what could happen if we continued to see each other, she says. She said Diddy said he would blow up Kid Cudi's car, and Diddy wanted his friends to be present if he did that. Cassie said the next time she saw him was at the Soho house during the meeting with Diddy. What about my vehicle? Medusky asked, according to Cassie. And Diddy said, what vehicle? That was the end of the meeting. Okay, so we did hear that already. 32 minutes ago, the prosecution is not following a linear timeline. Yeah, they're jumping all over. Asking Ventura about her relationship with Combs. While the government lawyers seem to be establishing a litany of various moments when Diddy demanded specific sexual scenarios or was physically abusive, sometimes linking the two, they are moving quickly back and forth across the nearly 11 years the pair was together. Okay, we have another update from Julia Jacobs of the New York Times 32 minutes ago. After one instance of physical abuse in 2015, Cassie says Diddy told her to put on more makeup because he didn't want one of his sons to see the bruises on her face while she was staying at his house. His physical abuse was not limited to her, according to Joe Coscarelli of the New York Times. Cassie testified. She says she witnessed him assaulting employees, assistants, punching one, a man, in the head, dragging another, a woman, known for the trial as Mia or Victim 4. This is Victim 4. I wonder if this is Dawn Richard. Out of a bed, once on a trip. Cassie also recalls a time when Diddy attacked a friend of hers, dangling her over an apartment balcony, throwing her onto patio furniture. This incident was referred to in Cassie's lawsuit in 2023, as well as a subsequent lawsuit from the woman Brianna Bongolan, known as Banna. Bongolan? I don't know how to say her name. Joe Coscarelli, again, 23 minutes ago, New York Times. Cassie says she lost her best friend of 17 years after the woman got into a physical altercation with Diddy in 2018. When he saw the two women were planning to do substances, Cassie testifies he hit the woman in the head or face with a wooden hanger. New York Times is saying head. Joe Coscarelli, 12 minutes ago, the prosecution seems to have preemptively and briefly raised an incident when Cassie physically attacked another woman in which Diddy's defense had alluded to in pretrial hearings. Cassie says her mom saw the woman possibly taking pictures of her at a bar where she was hanging out for her brother's birthday. Cassie admits to pulling the woman out of a car and confronting her. Diddy kept a small Louis Vuitton toiletries bag, his med bag. New details coming in right now from Joe Coscarelli of the New York Times. Sean Combs kept a small Louis Vuitton toiletries bag, his quote, med bag or medicine bag. It was full of substances that he obtained from dealers that he knew. His of choice, she says, was MDMA, cocaine, MJ, K with the K, and G to the H, and also having at the end a B. She says that she and Diddy took these substances together, especially during FOs. Sometimes she did do them on her own, especially opiates like Norco and Percocet and benzodiazepines like Xanax and Valium. When she attempted to stop taking them at various points in their relationship, she began to experience serious withdrawals, like flu-like sick. I heavily depended on opiates, Cassie said. In 2022, she sought professional help. She went to rehab. She no longer takes the pills. CNN gives us two new updates. She says she kept a knife wedged in a door handle after getting angry, unannounced visits from Diddy. She's testified that she wedged a knife in a door handle because at the time she was getting a lot of unannounced visits from Diddy. where he was really angry. This is reminding me of Mark Leta renting that apartment or the hotel or whatever it was for that girl Exotic. And she was like, he would just come in at any moment. And everybody in the comments was like, he's allowed to, he's paying for it. I mean, okay, you say so. The prosecutor showed the jury a photo from 2018 of the large knife in the door handle. Cassie said she was getting a lot of, quote, unannounced visits from Diddy where he was really angry. She said, kill two birds, one stone, lock it and have a weapon. I don't know how helpful that would be because Diddy could get the weapon. She says Diddy R-worded her. This is 2 minutes ago, CNN.com. She says Diddy R-worded her in her own living room in 2018. She's testifying about how she went to dinner with Diddy in Malibu in August 2018 for what she thought was a closure conversation. She said at that time she was seeing her husband at the time, her now husband at the time. Diddy was playful and romantic at the dinner. And then he drove her home. After a long pause, sitting on the witness stand, Cassie said, quote, and then he R-worded me in my living room. I just remember crying and saying no, but it was very fast, she testified. She said she wasn't sure if he even noticed her crying. Cassie said she was intimate with him voluntarily one other time after that instance. She also testified that she and Diddy have had a few check-ins since things ended in 2018. Just checking in, sending love, nothing crazy, Cassie said. We have an update from the New York Times just now. And we have two. Okay, 3 minutes ago from Joe Coscarelli, as they were from the New York Times, they were nearing the end of their relationship in 2018. Diddy and Cassie had dinner. Afterward, they went back to Cassie's home and he R-worded her. She said she was together at that time with her now husband, Alex, but she and Diddy had a nice meal and their rapport was playful, even romantic, as he brought her home. And then he R-worded me in my living room. I just remember crying and saying no, but it was very fast. Later, after another positive outing, she did have relations with him one more time. She says, but by choice. When asked why, she pointed to their decade together. Quote, you don't just turn feelings off that way, she says. Quote, I still, at that time, had a good vision of who he was as a person. 1 minute ago, Cassie says she maintained the intermittent contact with Diddy after they finally broke up. Typically, they texted only casually to check in on each other, but in March 2019, y'all, this is literally when Britney Spears was in Bridges to Recovery saying all is well. Bridges to Recovery, the rehab she was, quote, her words, not mine, forced onto lithium, forced into the rehab. It was in P. Diddy's neighborhood in California, and it was very near to Irving Azov's house. Okay. This is when she was in Bridges to Recovery. Where's Britney? They were doing podcasts looking for her. Spin around if you need help. She's, oh, it's well, no, I just need time to deal with my dad. Meanwhile, she's being drugged and kept against her will. Same time frame. All of a sudden, March 2019, Diddy sent Cassie a message. And remember, too, Kim Porter had just died in November 2018 or so. March 2019, Diddy sent Cassie a message referring cryptically to iPads full of skeletons, which she says meant the videos they had recorded. Diddy, Cassie says, wanted to be reimbursed for the personal training sessions he had paid for when her now husband, Alex, had trained her. He wanted his money back. Did she get pregnant at this time? This is when she got pregnant with her first kid. What happened that he was all up in the business? She responded in a text. She could still tell the truth, adding, it's way deeper than iPads. She meant his abuse of her, the whole nature of the relationship. So she started biting back after she was with her man. Because, see, in August 2018, she went to have a closure conversation with him, she says. And then he did you know what on the floor to her. But she even met up with him again after August 2018 at some point, but she had some overlap. So there was some infidelity, and I'm hoping Alex Fine already knew about this and he's not finding it out. I doubt it. I'm sure she's been very upfront with him because it's all coming out. Okay, we have an update from New York Post 8 minutes ago. Kyle Schnitzer and Priscilla DeGregory. Diddy allegedly are Cassie after the breakup. I just remember crying, saying no. It was very fast. His eyes went black. He didn't even notice that she was crying. Then he got up and left. At the time, she had already started dating her current husband, Alex, with whom she shares 2 children and now is expecting a third. She said she had relations with him one more time. Okay, now New York Post is saying it was not her choice, but it does appear like she was saying it was by choice. But that's a conflicting testimony coming from New York Post. Let's see if there's updates. I'm sure there's lots of updates from Inner City Press. Okay, the last text that we read together on the Inner City Press thread is Diddy said, "What did you message Diddy about after that?" She said, "Just checking in. What did he send you? That he had iPads full of images and to get him his money? Money back for what?" Cassie said, "For having paid my now husband to be my trainer." "What did you write back?" "You want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs." Good. I'm glad she finally stood her ground in 2019 against him. If true. Cassie said there was a time I couldn't take the pain. Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy. Now we're going to start talking about the book. Breaking. We're getting into the book. "Did you write?" She said, "Yep. A book. With chapters. My mom helped." She said, "What did you want with the book?" Cassie said that Diddy would read it. "What pain did he put you through?" Cassie said, "Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible." "How did you get the chapters to Diddy?" "Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. Douglas Wigdor is the attorney. I reached out also to Christina Karam. I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously." "How much did you ask for the book?" $30 million, Cassie said. "Did you sue?" She said, "Yep. November 2023. "What happened with the lawsuit?" She said it was settled for $20 million in 24 hours. "Why are you testifying at this trial, Cassie?" This is sad, y'all. But it feels like a relief. Like, just get it all out, girl. Golly. I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I treated people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody. So the thing she was saying she really wanted from that book was just to have Diddy have to read it. And now Diddy has to a lot more than read it. It does make you wonder, had he just gone ahead and read Cassie's book, paid her off that $30 million, would any of this have happened? Would Lil Rod have filed his lawsuit? How many freak offs did you have with Diddy? Impossible to know, Cassie said. Hundreds. After you broke up with Diddy, did you ever do a freak off? Cassie said, no. No further questions, Your Honor. I'm a cry, really. I mean, something about that last little boom, 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 boom all together. I got chills on my head. Oh, I'm going to refrain from saying I believe her. 1 minute ago, Inner City Press tweeted again. Can we have a sidebar? The prosecutors asked, can they have a sidebar before the cross-examination? Judge said, yeah. So then they go over that. Oh, I think it was really good. I think it was good, Miss Space X. I started out real neutral. Right now I'm leaning hardcore, hard toward Cassie's side, believing her. I think they're doing a pretty good job laying it out so far, in my opinion. I do. But I'm going to keep my mind open. We haven't even heard the other half of the story, other side of the story. Plus, they're going to be going back, forth. Plus, there's more witnesses. So we gotta keep open mind. I'm going to keep open mind. Y'all can do what y'all want. Somebody had... That's funny. I was just checking some of my text messages. Okay. 5 minutes ago, Cassie says Diddy R her in 2018. This is from Adam Rice and Dion Jones at NBC News. Cassie testified that Diddy R her in 2018 after she said they were supposed to have a closure conversation. She said the two went out for dinner, restaurant Malibu. He was playful, nice. At that time, she was already in a relationship with Alex, eventually took back to the apartment. I went inside. He came in and bleep me on the living room floor. I remember crying and saying no. It was fast. His eyes were black. He wasn't himself. It was like somebody taking something from you, she said after that incident. The two were intimate voluntarily, one more time. Woo! So now we're waiting for cross-examination to start. I'm nervous. It's 4:17, so they'll get a good 40 minutes. And Diddy's team will have a good 40 minutes. Like this stream or your court sketch artist will somehow only sketch your bad angles. There you go, B. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Welcome, Dr. Nikki, NPW Proctor, Walden, PhD, Slay. What a title. I know you were in some school, girl. Welcome to memberships. Thank you for the 5. Yes, I'm telling you, y'all gonna find out it's poo-poo parties. That's what y'all gonna find out is poo-poo parties. I'm telling you. That's my prediction. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron, for the $3.99 super sticker. Thank you, Dom's mom, for this $4.99. Thank you for your real-time coverage on this case. Been following you for a while. Love your legal takes, laced with class and a little sass. Keep it up, sis. Thank you for that $4.99. Thank you for the £5 in order of importance. Thank you so much in order of importance for the £5. Thank you, Jess Lee. I used to work for Lou Taylor and TriStar. Girl, come on live at some point. If Lou Taylor gets brought up, we bringing you live on here. Jess, thank you. I used to work for Lou. She said I had to go to therapy after I left the job. You need to contact the FBI. You need to contact the Department of Homeland Security and tell them you are a witness. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Fiona, for the $9.99 super chat. Great coverage. Much appreciated from a Texas lawyer who is a fan. So wish this was televised. I know. Shout out to Texas. I love Texas. It's like one of my little border states, right where I grew up in Louisiana. Could get to Texas in a few hours. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, B. Another $4.99 super chat from B. Diddy, love means marking territory like a raccoon. I was about to say like a dog. Let's be villains as foreplay. My kids shouldn't be here. But whew, thank you for the other $4.99, B. Love BJ's mom showing support. No. That's my mama's real hair. Thank you for the $4.99. No, my mom has a lot of hair. She has no problem growing hair. I'll tell you that. Thank you. I know it could be, maybe that's why you thought it was a wig, because she got so much hair. Adam Freeman, thank you for the $5 super chat. You remember how they had Brittany Eschewel history and interviewed men for her to date? Yes, I do. And I'm just saying, is it just me? Or does Sam Asghari look like he could be brothers with the crown prince of, Okay. I'm just wondering. Every time I see that man, I'm like, is that the same man that was LARPing as Brittany's boyfriend and husband for a few years? Like, why does he look just freaking like him? Like, it looks like the same person. I just know it can't be. So it's like, maybe that's his brother. Maybe that's his cousin. Maybe they just came from the same I don't know. Factory, family, assembly line. Somebody tell me. This is a great thing to bring back up though, Adam. Yes, I do remember how they had Brittany's sexual history and interviewed men for her to date. It all sounds too close. Yep. I hope the FBI don't stop with Diddy myself. I hope they keep going. Shout out to my mama for giving 5. Y'all got the 5 of the one of the 5 super chats from my mama. Y'all got extra luck. Y'all got extra luck. Girl, I operate a cleaning company in St. Petersburg, and I listen to you daily while I clean and do site visits. Yes, slay, El Cody. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Malia, for the $19.99. Long-time watcher, first-time chatter. You are the GOAT. This is all I'm doing these days with my time off. Thank you, Malia. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Okay, let's see if the cross-examination has started, y'all. I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little bit stalling. I'm a little bit, Cassie might be like, oh, can we take another break real quick? The judge wants to put it off till tomorrow. Yep. She's not getting cross-examined today. They're putting it off. With the jury out of the room, the judge says, why don't we just put the cross-examination off until tomorrow? Okay, the the prosecutor's like, no, we don't want to do cross-examination tomorrow. We want you to start cross-examining Cassie today. But it's 4:23 right now. So court ends at 5. The judge said, why don't we put the cross-examination off till tomorrow so Diddy's lawyers can start questioning Cassie tomorrow? The prosecutor said, no. We want to start now to make sure we finish. The judge looks over to Diddy's side and goes, what do y'all think? Miss Estevallo? Maybe she's going to be the one that's going to cross-examine Cassie. Estevallo said, Cassie's going to be finished by the end of the week. So Cassie will be finished by the end of the week. The judge said, so no cross-examination today? The judge said, okay, yeah, we'll just make up the time in other ways. Get the jury. The prosecutor said, so the witness can be excused. That's Cassie. She can be excused. Judge said, yeah, get her out of here. Y'all, isn't her due date tomorrow? Somebody said that her due date was May 15th. Maybe that was made up. 4 updates from CNN. Let's see what they talking about over there. Oh, she broke down in tears. That's what happened. She broke down in tears. I think that's why the judge is like, can we just call it a day? Cassie broke down in tears as she described the trauma. She broke down in tears as she talked about going to rehab and doing trauma therapy February 2023. She said she was having flashbacks. This is CNN. During a music video shoot with another artist. She also said she was self-deletion idol. You can read the word. Quote, I didn't want to be alive anymore at that point, she said. I couldn't take the pain that I was in anymore, and I just tried to walk out the front door into traffic, and my husband would not let me. The jury was dismissed after that for a short break. Her direct testimony was over. The prosecution and the defense were at sidebar. Cross-examination was expected to begin momentarily. The jury was on a 10-minute break. 4 minutes ago, another update from CNN. She testified about her book and lawsuit against Diddy. Cassie is now testifying about the book she wrote in 2023, saying that she didn't think Diddy understood the pain she was in. I didn't think he understood. This is a quote. I don't think after all those years of begging for sorries and for him to actually recognize the pain that he put me through, I just wanted him to understand. She just wanted validation from him. And it's the gaslighting. It's the, I didn't do anything to you. What car? Whose car? I don't know about a car. Are you crazy? I don't know a car. I didn't do none of that. Give me my money. Give me my money. You know, like just mean, just freaking hateful. She testified, I don't think he understood. Like he just didn't get it. He just is hateful and mean and just didn't think nothing was wrong with that. She said, I don't think after all those years of begging for sorries and for him to actually recognize the pain he put me through, I just wanted him to understand. She said she sent the book to Diddy through a lawyer and told him that he could buy the rights for $30 million. She said, I wanted to be compensated for the time, the pain, the many, many years of my life, many, many years of having to fix my life. When she asked how she reached that number, she said, I really didn't do any research. I just picked a number that I felt like would alert him. She later reached out to Diddy's employee, Christina Karam, to ask if he had read the book. And she was told that, quote, it hadn't been taken seriously. She said she did not receive any compensation from Diddy for the rights to her writing. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Alert, alert. That book's coming out. That book is coming out. And there ain't nothing Diddy's going to be able to do about it. I mean, he's going to try to fight it from coming out, because he's going to say that settlement was for the book not to come out, but he missed the boat on that offer. Ooh, it's not a good day to be Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. I think he might be having a worse day than anybody today. Next, Cassie and her baby. Next, Cassie's husband, probably. Diddy's kids. And then after that, I mean, a girl. Oh my God. In November 2023, she did file the lawsuit. She testified that she agreed to settle with Diddy and his companies for $20 million, 24 hours after filing the lawsuit. That moved fast, didn't it? 7 new posts from the what is this? New York Post. Did we read all these? Toward the end of her direct testimony, Cassie told the court she likely participated in hundreds of FOs with Diddy. And asked how many approximately by prosecutors, Cassie said, it's impossible to know, but hundreds. The prosecutor then asked if she had taken part in a freak-off since breaking up with Diddy in 2018. Following about 10 years of dating, she said no. She faces a cross-examination after a short break. Next up, Cassie will be cross-examined by Diddy's attorneys after a short break. Prosecutor wrapped up her questioning shortly after 4, and the defense will start theirs at 4:25. Cassie, who is 8 months pregnant, has given testimony about her abusive decade-long relationship with Diddy all day today in shocking detail that has at times been hard to listen to. And for about half the day yesterday, settlement amount in Cassie lawsuit revealed at trial, it was $20 million. This is Kyle Schnitzer, Ben Kochman, and Priscilla DeGregory at the New York Post. She revealed the previously unknown figure that she settled with Diddy for in her bombshell 2023 lawsuit that spurred criminal charges against the fallen mogul. I don't know why I said movie mogul. It's music. Kyle, Ben, and Priscilla. During the testimony this afternoon in Manhattan federal court, Cassie and R&B singer and star witness against Diddy told jurors that she ultimately settled with him for $20 million. Who paid you $20 million? The prosecutor asked just before finishing up her direct examination. Diddy and his companies, Cassie said. You mean the ones that are headquartered at Lou Taylor's office or a different one? Just wondering. Her civil case laid out similar claims to those she has testified to. Y'all got to get a proofreader on. There's 3 of y'all testified to over the past 2 days at his criminal trial. She brought the lawsuit in November 2023. settled with the rapper within a day. Her disturbing allegations ultimately prompted the feds to launch a probe into Diddy. Wow. Bet you he's wishing he would have settled that now. Got a little too big for his britches. Diddy has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyers have said his alleged victims actually took part in these so-called freak-offs consensually. We got a new update from NBC. Cassie's direct testimony ends. She wrapped up direct testimony telling jurors she took the witness stand to rid herself of the shame and the guilt she has carried. When the prosecutor asked her why she put herself through the process, she said, quote, "I can't carry this anymore. The shame, the guilt, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. People aren't disposable." The jury went on a short break before the cross-examination was expected to begin. Let's go over to Inner City Press. The jury is coming back in. "Sorry to bring you out only to send you home. Don't read anything about the case. Have a great evening. All rise." Jury exits. Judge looks over to the prosecution. "Miss Comey?" She said, here's what Diddy's team sent us about Rule 412. "We believe we had agreed that other sexual acts by the witnesses were not admissible, but we understand they intend to cross-examine her about other relationships with texts about sex, about Miss Ventura effing someone else. Why is that necessary? I don't want to read these into the record, so I'll hand copies up." Agnifilo gets a chance to respond, and he says, "These are messages about jealousy. In the vocabulary of 'are you effing that person?' that's fair game." Oh, the Scientologist can't help himself, I guess. I don't know if he's a Scientologist. It's just that's what they like, the fair game over there. This is the real world way people express hurt. See, they're already coming out with their little horns out. So they're arguing over some text messages. The jury has been dismissed, excused for the day. Court has not been adjourned. They're still arguing in here. They've been arguing all day. Cassie's second day on the stand wraps up. In general, she kept her composure today, answering questions in a calm and matter-of-fact tone, but she became more visibly emotional as she described Combs allegedly R-wording her in 2018, and she broke down in tears shortly after as she recounted her trauma, suet, bleep, ideation, and, quote, personal shame. 7 updates from the New York Times. Let's see what they have to say over there. They are really moving. Okay, we got Julia Jacobs from the New York Times saying Cassie is finished with her direct testimony, taking a 10-minute break. She's standing up and holding her stomach as the jurors file out. The prosecution pushed, this is also still from Julia Jacobs from the New York Times, the prosecution pushed to begin the cross-examination today, alluding to the timing concerns with Cassie's pregnancy. But the judge said he wants to start questioning with Diddy's lawyers tomorrow. The defense lawyers say they expect their cross-examination to take all day tomorrow and likely go into Friday. Cassie is expected to be on the stand all day tomorrow, being cross-examined by Diddy's lawyers all day and also into the day on Friday. But it should be complete by the end of the week, New York Times reporting. New York Times' Joe Coscarelli says Cassie's testimony is concluded for the day and the jurors have been sent home. Cross-examination is scheduled to begin Thursday. Let's see, Washington Post, fill in some of these details. What kind of pain? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, 20 minutes ago, Washington Post, Shayna Jacobs, in texts exchanged to Cassie after they broke up, Diddy demanded that her new boyfriend refund pay. Oh, so it's the boyfriend. He wanted the money from Alex Fine, the boyfriend. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. See, I told y'all these are our details queens. Okay, wait, let me go back. I don't want to miss any of these really important details. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, we'll go back here. Turning once again to her, this is 38 minutes ago, but I don't want to miss any of these details because this is where we get the details. This is where we learned that the girls weren't in court today, the twins. Turning once again to her rug use, Cassie testified that she first took opiates when she got her wisdom teeth removed when she was 19. Then Diddy had them, and I took them with him. She said Diddy would procure drugs like Vicodin, oxycodone, and Percocet for her, sometimes using his employees to fill prescriptions. She would take opiates with or without him present, she said, until one point she was using them daily. She said she last used them in 2020. So I saw elsewhere it was 2022. So I don't know if it was 2020 or 2022, but she went to rehab. Diddy's defense attorneys are expected to argue that Cassie and Diddy had a mutually toxic relationship and that she was also violent toward him. Prosecutors have been asking Cassie, their star witness, to volunteer some of these episodes before she's cross-examined. Cassie testified that she once became enraged when she learned a woman took a photo of her while she was drunk at a birthday party in a bar. She found the woman at her car and testified she pulled her out and was punching her in the head. The prosecutors also showed Cassie a photo of a Santoku knife lodged in a door handle at her LA home. She said she put it there as a message to Combs in defiance of his frequent, unannounced visits. Questions then turned to one of the most serious accusations Cassie made against Diddy, that he R her in her home in 2018. Asked to describe the alleged incident, Cassie said that she and Diddy had already broken up. Earlier in the day, the two had a pleasant lunch together, and Cassie described it as a closure conversation. She had begun seeing Alex, who was now her husband. But when the two returned to Cassie's home, she testified that Diddy R her. She described herself crying and saying, "No, I don't even know if he noticed." He completed the mission inside of her, she said, and then he got up and left. We'd been together 10 years. You don't just turn feelings off that way. She did do it with him again voluntarily one time. 28 minutes ago, Anne Brannigan from the Washington Post then says, prosecutors were jumping around quite a bit in their end of day questions for Cassie, which can make timelines of some incidents hard to follow. Their questions have mostly been linked thematically, focusing on alleged violence against Cassie's friends and her rug use. Cassie is now being questioned about her interactions with Diddy after their breakup. She said they maintained constant contact with each other after their romantic relationship had ended. And remember, she is still signed to his label. Did he let her off the contract? Is she still under 9 more albums under Bad Boy? In texts exchanged, this is Shayna Jones, Washington Post. In texts exchanged to Cassie after they broke up, Diddy demanded that her new boyfriend, now husband, Alex, refund the payments Diddy made when Alex was her personal trainer. Quote, "I'll pull up and handle it face to face," Diddy wrote in a message shown to the jury. "If I was you," Diddy said to Alex Fine, or to Cassie/Alex Fine, "I would get me my money." Whoo, how's that working out for you, buddy? Whoo, it ain't working out too good. Bet you he wish he would have kept them texts to himself. Cassie testified that early 2023 marked a turning point for her. She told the court she entered rehab, trauma therapy after she kept having, quote, horrible flashbacks. She was shooting a music video with another artist, and she said she didn't want to be alive anymore. After the shoot, she went home to her husband and her children. As her kids were sleeping, Cassie told her husband that he could raise their family without her. She broke down crying, recalling the moment. "I could not take the pain I was in anymore." She wanted to, quote, walk out the door into traffic, but her husband would not let her. 20 minutes ago, Shayna Jacobs, what kind of pain did he put you through? What are you talking about, this pain? I think more than anything, Cassie, this is a quote, personal shame, and having to carry the shame that was shameful to him. She replied through tears. Cassie testified she witnessed a chilling encounter where one of her friends was physically assaulted by Diddy at the LA apartment. She said, Shayna Jones, Cassie revealed on the stand that she accepted $20 million settlement payment a day after filing her explosive 2023 lawsuit. So she started therapy at the beginning of that year and she sued his behind at the end. Same month, I might have been the same day Kim Porter passed, or was that her birthday? She said she was also in talks to write a book about her experiences when Diddy paid her. Quote, I wanted to be compensated for the time and the pain and the many, many years of having to try to fix my life, she told the court. She said her litigation against Diddy is over and that she's testifying against him to do the right thing. I can't carry the shame, the guilt. Noting that she took part in hiring escorts for the same freak-offs where she says she was abused. I was guided to treat people like they were disposable. The direct examination ended. Cross-examination was supposed to begin. The judge changed his mind, decided to start tomorrow. The jury will be going home for the day. There's been previous reporting about Cassie and a possible book deal, and we know from court filings that she was writing a book. On the stand before the court adjourned, Cassie described the book's origins as a way to reckon with her relationship with Diddy, putting everything on paper. She added that she wanted Diddy to read it. I wanted him to understand. I don't think he understood. It isn't clear from her testimony if the book project is still active or if the lawsuit settlement payment ended it. Looks like it didn't. We got an update from NBC. Defense cross-examination planned for tomorrow. The district court judge sent jurors home for the day, telling them to return for proceedings, and it's going to begin 9:30 a.m. on the dot. We might get started a little early tomorrow, y'all, because the direct examinations, I think what we've all been holding our breath for, because I don't think it's going to be enjoyable, peaceful. Y'all better be doing some extra prayers for Cassie and her baby tonight, okay? And everybody else and all that. They're going to begin court tomorrow, 9:30 on the dot. That's when Diddy's defense lawyers are set to begin what could be a lengthy cross-examination of Cassie. It's going to last at least all day tomorrow, and they expecting it to last into the next day. Two more updates from CNN. Defense cross-examination of Cassie will begin tomorrow. The judge has dismissed the jury for the day. The defense will begin tomorrow, 9:30. The judge said prosecution and defense need to resolve the issues regarding the cross-examination before it begins because we're starting at 9:30. We ain't doing this fighting crap. Y'all better figure it out. Defense attorney Ana Estevallo said she expects cross-examination to stretch into Friday. 12 minutes ago, Ventura testified Diddy said Kid Cudi's car was going to blow up, how the rapper got involved. He's been a player in the story ever since the civil suit in 2023. Cassie, who's on the stand for the second day, testified that Diddy learned she was dating Kid Cudi during a freak-off. She said that Diddy told her he was going to hurt her and Kid Cudi. Also testified that Diddy told her the car would be blown up, and then, in fact, it was. He found emails between her and Kid Cudi, and he became enraged. Representatives for Kid Cudi confirmed Ventura's account to the New York Times in 2023, saying, quote, "This is all true." Wow. In the government's indictment, Diddy is accused of acts of violence, including arson, though it is unclear if the prosecutors are referring to the same incident with Kid Cudi. 3 updates from the New York Post. I just don't want to miss any details here. Settlement amount revealed. Sean and his companies. Disturbing allegations. Freak-offs. Male escorts. Okay, let's go to Inner City Press. Oh, they arguing. They still arguing. The rule requires this to be sealed. The judge said, let's proceed without specifics. Agnifilo said, saying, are you effing that person is just a vulgar way of asking, are you cheating? Both sides open on infidelity. This is not 412. So they're still arguing over there. Very interesting. Thank you, Rary Bay. Did you talk about how the F-off stuff gets into the RICO charges? I did not explicitly. Maybe I mentioned it a little bit, but yes, the RICO charges are federal charges. I mean, there's many ways you can answer this question. I think what you might be asking is, because these FOs happen across state lines, multiple participants transported across state lines, that means it affected interstate commerce, which brings it up to RICO and not just DV. Is that what you mean? Thanks so much for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Danny Lee. Maybe it's too far out, but do you think Diddy has anything to do with the Wendy Williams situation? I was just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. Danny Lee, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, JT Hypno Chic. Love listening to you while working from home in corporate healthcare. Yes, love that. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Shout out to KJ becoming a member. Shout out to Adam Freeman. I just can't stop thinking about how they talked to men who were interviewed to date Britney and her sexual history was given out. I hope the FBI doesn't stop with Diddy. Thank you for that $10 super chat again. Thank you, Sherlinda, for the $2 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sussex Sandra, thank you for the $4.99. A little something for the great coverage. BJ's the best. For the live tweets reporting. Yep, I'm live tweet reporting and live article reporting. Edie, the Sun confirmed Cassie identified Adi's photo. I tweeted the article to you. Okay, Edie, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. B, shout out to all the survivors seeing themselves in this testimony. If you're still in, you're lovable. And if you're out, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. B, thank you, Christina Erickson. Thank you, BJ. Huge thanks to the mods. Yes, they are in here. Thank you to the mods. Mods, drop your links in the chats. Y'all buy them a coffee or something if you can. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Christina. Thank you, Dejanelle. This screams illegal activities. Yes, it does. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Louisa, for the $9 super sticker. Oh my God, my mom is out here giving y'all memberships. Thank you, Mom, for the 5 memberships. Welcome to memberships, whoever got them. Diddy needs exorcism or something, Cheshire said. I agree. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Kiwi, seeking the truth. Watching from New Zealand, you rock. Shout out New Zealand. Thank you for the $2. Thank you, Lady Red, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you. Shout out to all the Alexes of the world. Aldo, Cross, shout out to being brutal, but the jury will hate him being straight unkind to her now. It's the truth. Thank you for that $4.99, B. Thank you, Star Perfect, for the $1.99. So damn proud of Cassie. Yes. Me too. Whoo, she deserves a good nap. She deserves a foot massage. Oh my God, poor girl. My God. Whoo, get her out of here. Thank you, Hibiscus Rose, for the $9.99 super chat. Adam said, do you think the FBI will stop with just Diddy? No, I don't. Something else is coming, I feel. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Thank you, Saul, for the $1.99. Casey's lawyer said she shot at Meg, not who? Oh, girl, I got to get into the Tory Lanez, y'all. You got shot in prison. Thank you for the $1.99, Saul. I'm going to look into that. Thank you, Sav, for the $4.99. I've gotten addicted to your videos. Thank you for covering this moment in history. You're welcome. Thank you, Sav. Thank you. Thank you, Celestial Essence, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for all your hard work. Gives me something to listen to at work. Well, I'm going to be here this month. I'm going to be here. Thank you for the $5. Thank you, Nadia, for the $5 super sticker. Shout out to you. Thank you, F Pause. Thanks for the amazing coverage. Thank you. Adam, another $10. Thank you. I'm needing therapy myself. I found out that JT is my cousin through my birth family. Oh my God, no. They asked if I wanted to meet. I said, no. No, emancipate yourself from him. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Amenifus. Oh, that's a good word. What is that one? What does that mean? As crazy as this all is, it's only the beginning. It's the truth. Thank you for the $3.25 super chat. Thank you, M, for the $5 super chat with one earbud in at work. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Thank you, Angel Clement Guidry. Y'all know my cousin's gonna be in here every day. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you. K-Drop, thank you for the $2 super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. Jamie A, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. See, told you. He thinks he's a big mob boss that can't be touched. God don't like evil, ugly. God's favorites always prevail. Tell him, Jamie. It's, Lord, it's going to be I'm going to get here a little earlier tomorrow than I was today. My God. I don't want to start too late tomorrow. Thank you, Av, for the, 99 cent super chat. Thank you. Oh, my cousin in here again. You are the best. Thank you, Angel Clement Guidry. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Mindful Vibes. I probably wouldn't watch as much if you didn't show that gorgeous natural visage. Wait, what does that mean? What's a visage? Is that me? Or is that what I was saying later? I was like, oh, no, y'all watch this for me. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hashtag God's favorite. Thank you, Carolina. BJ, you are the best. You are the best. Love you, mean it. Member for 17 months, that Ellen. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you for your hard work. Excellent job. Thank you. Thank you. Bit stole my look. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says excellent job. Thank you. So Edie said that the Sun confirmed Jonathan Oddie was mentioned by Cassie. I mean, this is probably the biggest news of the day for me. That's what stands out the most, right? Or what else? I mean, so much happened. The Sun, Jonathan Oddie. I thought it was real weird. None of these live trial updates said that. Cassie testimony. Let me check. Diddy's jury stunned reaction as freak offs. Okay. It's not in any. It's not in any. So it was brought up today, but what's interesting to me is that, hold on, let me pull that up. I want to pull up the interview with Jonathan Oddie. Jonathan Oddie had an exclusive interview yesterday. Jonathan Oddie interview.
Ventura.
Hold
this
on.
video is courtesy of Real World Media. Take a look.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, and I think she's a decent person.
Okay.
So at the time, Odie's story seemed too far-fetched to believe, but not anymore. And now, in an exclusive interview, Odie opens up to News Nation senior producer Allison Weiner about his claims, beginning with why he's agreed to talk now. Listen to this.
I felt bad because I got along well with her, and I think
He felt bad because he got along well with Cassie.
she's a decent person.
I think she's a decent person.
And unfortunately, I had a suspicion that she was in a situation that she was in, but I wasn't sure.
I had a suspicion she was in the situation she was in, but I wasn't sure. I don't know if y'all can hear this, so I'm just repeating it.
And now I understand a lot what was going on in her life.
Now I understand a lot what was going on in her life, what was happening, him beating up her in the hotel shows me the type of individual he is. And confirms what happened to me is the truth and correct and in line with Diddy's personality, Jonathan Oddie is saying. Again, y'all, this man was brought up in court today.
So he's speaking to us from a Miami jail now. Here is how Odie says it all began for him.
He was a male Chippendale, a model Chippendale, you could say. They called me, the agency he worked for, to do a show. Went did a show. They started offering him more money to do sexual acts. This is in keeping with the escort we already heard from yesterday. This is a similar pattern. They offered him more money to perform the sexual acts than just the little stripper show. Similar to the witness from yesterday. That's how I basically got started. I would get dressed as a police officer. That's another thing they said yesterday. The guy would dress as a police officer. He wore an NYPD shirt. He would do a show, strip down. Then they would offer more money. To do extra stuff.
So Odie did get specific about the extra stuff that he says Diddy wanted from him. And these specifics were consistent with what he told law enforcement during the 2014 interrogation. Here is how he describes the atmosphere and how frequently
18.
it happened.
Candles, sensual atmosphere, lights off. He would sit in a corner on a sofa watching. He would tell her, give her instructions, tell me what to do. Baby oil. Baby oil.
How many times did you have sex with Cassie?
15 times.
And what did you get paid?
What'd you get paid?
How much?
$800 each time. Each act. Sometimes it would be he would call me twice. A couple hours would go by. He'd call me back.
So Odie claimed that the sessions were drug fueled, and that his concern for both Cassie and himself led him to get one of their sessions on video. Listen to what he says.
So now he's going to say these drug fueled sessions led him to secretly record one of these videos. Secretly. Listen.
It's about that.
Why did you decide to record or video?
After she passed out. Decided to record in case something worse happened. If she died or anybody died, it would be on camera. It would be on video what happened. And remember, today, Cassie testified that one time she went into a so-called, quote, G hole, which had her, she said she woke up naked in a bath, in a shower, and the escort and Diddy were standing over her freaking out. And then Diddy made her go and do the freak off anyway. So here's Jonathan Oddie, a different S worker who was allegedly identified in court today. He shot up the Trump Hotel in 2018. He got arrested. He still hasn't been sentenced. He said he video recorded it. And I wanted it on tape that I wasn't responsible for any of it.
So you were beginning to worry about her doing drugs. I mean, like about her dying or him dying or somebody dying from the drugs. And you would be held responsible. So you brought a video. What do you brought your phone?
He didn't bring his phone. He went to the spy shop and got a secret spy camera. He put his wallet, he put it in his wallet on the table, and he put his wallet on the table. And so it's like a little flash drive that was recording the freak off. He took a video of the freak off. Living room table. He said, I just filmed it. And I had it transcribed. Now, I do remember I followed the Jonathan Oddie case. And it was something going on. If Peanut Lee is in here. It was something going on. Jonathan Oddie, there was some issue with transcription of something. So now I wonder, He noticed or knew they were paranoid. Knew they were paranoid. And I wanted to guarantee my safety. So now they're talking about the settlement. At the settlement table, there was a lot of irregularities, he said. His first settlement. They brought him in. Diddy had, and remember who he said did this settlement. Who did he say did this settlement, Jonathan Oddie? He said it was Mark Garagos, who is Teeny Garagos's father. Mark Garagos, Teeny Garagos is Diddy's lawyer. Mark Garagos even kind of like advising on jury selection, got admonished by the judge for making statements on his podcast that he has with lead propagandist of America, Harvey Levin. So this guy right here now, he seems to be a lot more credible than a conspiracy theorist now. Cassie literally, apparently today, confirmed, yes, he was one of the escorts. He's been saying he was one of the escorts. His story has not changed since 2018. And he's not been charged yet. He said he filmed this freak off. He was scared. He was afraid. Oh my God, look at this. Diddy had a t-shirt with 2 men in ski masks. What the hell? A lot of irregularities. His first settlement. So they brought him in. Diddy had a t-shirt, 2 men, ski masks pointing. Making gun signs, okay? A black and white, a red frame. It's the way he operates. He communicates everything to you, threatening you by saying, I'm going to have you unalived.
So what he says to prevent the recording from going public, that's what he was just talking about. Diddy had him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure
I definitely think they left and cut a lot out of that.
Agreement in exchange for $5 million.
He confirmed the amount, $5 million.
In hush money.
Hush money.
2014, the Daily Mail.
2014 confirmed. 2014 confirmed Daily Mail. So I guess they're reconfirming, affirming Daily Mail, that NDA or whatever.
I ran a screenshot of what appears to be a signature page signed by Sean Combs and Odie. We have not been able to obtain the document or verify its content.
They haven't been able to verify it. I don't know if it's real.
Verify the existence of the video that you heard him talking about. Now, according to Daily Mail.
What if that video is getting used in trial? Put a 1 in the chat if that video is getting used in trial. Excellent job. Thank you. Thank you, Bill Stole My Look, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Adam. Will we get a pink That Surprise Witness shirt possibly in the future? My white one got ruined. Anything's possible, Adam. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Miss Molly, you are doing all the work, getting updates. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Jenny J, for the 99 cents. I think Diddy's hair just got more white or possibly fell out a little bit after that testimony, Cat Yo said. I mean, listen. I think my hair got a little. I might got my first gray hair. Anybody check? I haven't checked recently. This one might give me my first gray hair. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Alana, for the $3 super sticker. Oh, look, my cousin back in here. Girl, I'm gonna take your credit card. Unfortunately, I've been in the G to the hole, and I know it is because it used to be legal, and I believe all this is true. Interesting. I mean, I think it's probably true, but we're gonna have to see. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Mo Mac MUA. Oh my God, do a session with me. I need to learn how to do makeup. Thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Okay. I'm dyeing my hair as we speak, somebody said. I have not seen or heard anything about JB. Me neither. What a monster, somebody said. Is that state a one-party consent state or for recording? Oh, girl, who knows? I do not know. Diddy's proud. He's such a narcissist and gloating. Probably. He's probably proud. Audie said he showed a copy of the NDA. It's like where they do a certain drug. I think it's called GHB, and it like has it basically, but Cassie said she like basically blacked out. Jonathan Audie is going to testify. Oh my God. Really? Tisa Tells just said that? Tisa, I knew what you meant. I knew you weren't saying Russia Tells. Poor Cassie, she's so lucky to be alive. Tell her story. It seems like it. It seems like it. Let's see what other updates we have, because remember, they were still in the court arguing. They were still in the court arguing. Oh. We could do it in the robing room. The defendant would have to be present. So in the courtroom sealed, counsel for victim 1, that's Wigdor, would like to be heard. Okay, Douglas Wigdor, he wanted to stand up and talk. He said, we are entitled to notice. The judge said, okay, so tomorrow morning we'll carry on. Interesting. Okay, we have a few more updates from the New York Post. "50 seconds ago, Cassie to face cross-examination by Diddy's lawyers after recounting alleged RAPE, abuse, and gut-wrenching detail for 2 days. It was 2, like almost full days. It was 1.5 days. Diddy's lawyers are sure to leave no stone unturned Thursday when they begin cross-examining Cassie. A single defense attorney for Diddy's case is likely to spend hours, if not days, grilling Cassie as they attempt to try to catch her in lies, attack her character, and poke holes in her story. Cassie, who's 8 months pregnant, spent 2 days answering questions from prosecutors in painstaking detail, and has at times gotten emotional, recounting the alleged horrors she endured at the hands of Diddy. But cross-examination is likely to be much more difficult for the married mom of 2 since she will be pressed and challenged on every painful detail. You cannot have my credit card. I'm going to tell them, come take it. I'm coming to take it. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, y'all. That's my cousin. I decided it. Thank you for the amazing coverage. Thank you, Albie, Maine. Shout out to you. Thank you for the $1.99. Thank you for that $1.99 super chat. Didn't Kim have a book too? Somebody said. I mean, that's what they were saying. That's what they were trying to say. Let me pull something else up. What time should I start tomorrow on this whole thing? That's what I'm wondering. What time should I start tomorrow? So they're going to be starting at 9:30 a.m. sharp. Should I just call it like a 10:15? Or, I mean, what are y'all thinking? What should I do? I'm just checking a few things here. I've been live like all day, so I needed to check a couple personal things off screen real quick. I'm going to go and check just like general coverage shortly. Okay, hold on. I'm almost done. Let's see. Inner City Press. Does he have anything else new? Okay, so we do have some updates. So don't go anywhere quite yet. We do have a few more updates on the trial itself. Just give me a second. Okay. Let's see. Here it is right here. This one is coming from CNN. The judge and lawyers are going to address the text message issue tomorrow before the jury comes in. After the jury was dismissed for the day, the prosecutors and the defense attorneys discussed how they're going to handle certain text messages in the case. Prosecutors raised concerns about the defense bringing in text messages. So the prosecutors are raising concern about Diddy bringing in text messages referencing Cassie having relations with somebody else other than Diddy or an escort. They say the messages would be in violation of the agreement not to talk about that kind of evidence. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said the defense team wants to show the jury conversations between Diddy and Cassie that reference infidelity and jealousy, that use a more vulgar vocabulary. This is real world. This is the real world way people express hurt over the realization that there's been cheating going on. The judge asked the parties to submit letters on the issue tonight. He said they're going to address it tomorrow morning at 8:30 before the jury comes in, and the testimony is going to begin at 9:30. They're going to get started at 8:30. You think it's true? One update from NBC News 18 minutes ago. She said she settled for $20 million. They slow over there. New York Times has an update. When Cassie finished her direct testimony, Diddy turned to his family members assembled in the spectators gallery and mouthed to them, "I'm okay." His daughters didn't go to court today, according to the Washington Post. They did not go to court today, the twins, or any of them, I guess. The other one either, the older one. There's been previous reporting on the book deal. We don't know. Okay, what do we have here? Thanks so much, Angel. Look at her. And you donated to the defense fund? Oh, my God. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat and for the legal fund donation. Thank you, Nadia, for the $2 super chat. Thank you. And thank you, Dawn, for the $9.99 super chat. I think I'm gonna come on. Bravo, BJ. Yes. Shout out to Popcorn Planet in the chat. I think I'm gonna come on tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. if they start. If not, I'm gonna see if they actually gonna be doing arguments at that time. How are they gonna come in and do argument? Oh, in the robing room. Okay, so I'll just start at 9:30 tomorrow. Thank you again, Dawn, for the $1.99 super chat. And speaking of Popcorn Planet, I am going to end here, and I'm going to redirect y'all over there to Popcorn planet. So I'll see y'all in the chat over there. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow so we can do it all over again. Pray for Cassie and her baby and her husband and her family. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.